Show starts in 3 minutes. And now, on with the show.
TOS, today on stream, the Twitch News Guy.
News on what the fuck's going on in our sphere.
The source for streamer Twitch information.
Your go-to person for Twitch news.
He does Twitch news.
All of the Twitch news, anything that has to do with like streaming.
The best news on Twitch. You can get it from Zach's stream.
Fantastic informational streams about everything and anything Twitch.
The go-to for everything Twitch.
And he literally actually cares about the Twitch community.
I like to call him the Adrian Wojnarowski of Twitch.
The best Twitch news on Twitch. You're that guy that knows everything about Twitch.
You guys want to know what's going on with Twitch and what's coming on in the future, stuff like this. That's the man you want to follow, and that's the man you want to watch.
Best place to get Twitch news, period.
The Twitch news extraordinaire.
Zach Bussey, best Twitch journalist to ever do it.
Indeed.
It's funny, I get most of my Twitch news from Zach.
I mean, if you ask me, he's more attractive than Devin Nash or that Slosher guy.
Oh, it's Zach Bussey.
Zach Bussey.
Zach Bussey.
Bussey. Bussey. Bussey. Bussey. Bussey.
Oh, man.
Broadcasting live around the world from the TOS.GG studio. Please welcome the host of Today on Stream, Zach Bussey.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. How's everybody doing? Hope you guys are doing well. Guys, we're back live again. Back-to-back days.
A new subscriber.
3:30 p.m. local time for reasons that don't really make that much sense. One whole year. God damn. 6 months in advance, Dragon Gem. Thank you, Six. Thank you, Six. Thank you. Thank you for 6 months of resubs or pre-subs. And thank you very much for 12 months having been here already. How are you all? Guys, we have a great show planned today. We are going to be initially looking at these articles from TubeFilter and Aftermath related to people coming back from YouTube to Twitch. I want to get into it. I want to do it. And then we have another podcast to listen to. This time, not the VP of Technology, Community Features, Engineering, but in fact, the Chief Marketing Officer, Rachel Delphine, who we've listened to in the past. And we'll see how this one goes. But hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome in. And then lots of other things we have to do as well that we'll never get to because it's impossible. I literally just finished recording a video. Well, technically not a video. Wait, let me say that again. No, I did record a video. I technically did. Holy fuck. What's going on? I just finished recording a video on the DJ program and the total cost that it's going to incur in terms of every DJ's current earnings, how much is going to be taken once the subsidy program is gone. And I edited that. I'm saying words. Yep, that's exactly it. And I edited that, and I was like, you know what? Let's just go live. I'm in a good streak right now. I've recorded a YouTube video. I've edited said YouTube video. I did some analysis. I've done my morning stuff. let's just go for it. Let's start streaming. And so here I am. Max productivity. Twitch doesn't even know what to expect if I get into a max productivity mood or mode. It's like Terminator at that point. It's all over for everybody. But hi, everybody. How are you all? Welcome in. Welcome in. Hold on. Let me go over here. Dragon Jim, thank you again for the resub. Nice to have you here. Let me switch over to the main scene. You can take a look at what I'm looking at. We can all look at the same thing together and be on the same page. Hi, Reg. Hi, D Parts. Hi, Sasha. Hi, Slashy. Damn, the salty call out and then go live. Yeah, well, hey, it has to happen. Hi, Storm Chaser. Hi, Monica. Kitty's having a little fun with their television. Thanks for the idea. Heck yeah, I'm glad that they did. It's kind of fun to watch. Hi, Illusion. I'm not the person being added in the go live, but I'm here anyways. Well, Mr. Bite, we appreciate you being here early because it was only Salty that we said he doesn't have to show up just yet. It's too early for him. Sunberry, hello. By the way, this is a thing that happens with, unfortunately, the systems in which third parties can connect to YouTube chats. They don't translate the images for emotes there. So that's how it ends up looking. If you're a subscriber, if you're a member on YouTube, paid member on YouTube, that's how it looks. Yeah, it doesn't look particularly interesting, but I know what it is. Hi, Sage. Hi, Singletary. Congratulations on your pyramid, your halfy pyramid. Hi, Dimitri. Remember when you used to be consistent?
Like to troll and/or simp for Zach Bussey?
Something like that, yeah. Something like that. Remember when you used to be consistent? I'm pretty consistent. The only thing that has changed is I'm busier now. It's easy to be consistent when you have nothing else going on. When you don't have a million things that are pulling your attention in a million ways.
You know who shouldn't feel safe in this space? Zach Bussey.
You don't have a million things pulling you in different ways. Those are the times where being consistent is easy to do. Yeah. Remember when Slashy had a streak this long? Hi, Goof. Hi, Aureus. Hi, Falcor. How are you? Thanks for dropping my nap time. You're welcome. Ravdos, thanks so much for the 5-stream streak. CMO, yeah. Hi, Newhouse. As a DJ, I'm only 70% here. That is, in fact, true. That is how much you count for, yeah. Holy shit, a video recording and a live stream in the same day. I know, Slashy. It's wild. If I mean, I'm telling you, if I can get into a system that allows me to just kind of go bang, bang, bang like that, and I can just go from one thing to the next, and I know what I'm going to record the next day, and then I do it, and then I can edit it, and then I go live, man, things will be good. Now, again, means I'm going to be neglecting a lot of other things in doing so, but I think it's worth it. Underground Rescue Channel, such as eating. I realized that after I went go live, I was like, oh shit, I haven't eaten today. I had a couple of those egg bites that you put in the microwave and you warm them up for like 90 seconds. And I had coffee and I've had water, but other than that, nothing. So I'm also on a diet plan. It all works. Hi, Angelus. Hi, Hakpatoy. Hi, T-Can. Hi, Cohen. Hi, Darthroni. Welcome in. 5-stream streak. Thank you very much, T-Can. Hi, Finite. You got yourself a golden cap. I see. Did you get food? Because you ended your stream to did Grand Pooh Bear acknowledge you? Because it seemed like he was kind of focused in on his game when you raided, and I was like, oh, I wonder if he'll acknowledge it. I left, so I don't know if he did or not. So that's why I'm asking now. I can't believe that DJs are only valued at 70% of the normal streamers. That's already only valued at 50 to 70%. Huh? It's almost like you control your schedule, kind of. All you need is eggs and coffee. Kind of true, Kate. I kind of like it. Hi, Matrices. Hi, Velvet. No suit. I'll only be 70% here. That sounds about right. Yeah, no, whenever I go live early, again, suits, putting on the suit is certainly a sit-down plan, a lot of different things to do today, but focused in on, hey, we're going to only spend the time doing that thing. But we're more flexible. Plus, it's warm again. Got warm again in Toronto. Just keep protein bars and shakes around. That's a good idea, actually. Hyperbole Blair. Zach, it does no good to be productive if you pass out from no food. That is true. That's his mod. Probably yes, probably not. To whoever read it. Got it. It's straight up cold today. It was straight up cold last week, but this week in Toronto weather. Yeah. We're back up into the 24s and 25s. Literally last week, it was like 11 to 12 degrees. So, live off of protein bars is a problem? Interesting. Anyways, let's jump into it. Could do with some global warming. Warming up, did a little hike on Rouge Park earlier in the day. Ooh, that sounds nice. That does sound nice. I start my days with a nice walk down to the coffee shop, a brisk walk. Then I get my coffee, and then I do a brisk walk back, get some fresh air, loosen up my back because I have scoliosis that's continuing to get worse, and my pain in it is just constantly bad. And then I got to work. It's a good system. Anyways, let's read these articles. Let's go through these articles because I've been wanting to go through them for a little bit, at least 6 days at this point. And why not? Are you going to TwitchCon? I am not going to TwitchCon, Heatley. I am not going to TwitchCon. How are you, by the way? Nice to see you. Welcome in. But no, I'm not attending this year. I will be covering it remotely. By the way, yeah, I will be streaming TwitchCon weekend, Friday, Saturday, and parts of Sunday for probably 6 to 8 hours per day, I'm going to guess. Something in that neighborhood. Because we're going to cover a bunch of the different panels. We'll take a look at people who are live streaming, and we're just going to take their stream and just rebroadcast it as our own. It'll be great. It'll be great.
By the way, Blurp added a new feature where you can donate to a channel wallet. And then non-paying community members like Slashy can play sound spending that money.
Interesting. That's kind of an interesting feature. Thanks for the 100 bits. That's an interesting feature. I was literally in my video for DJs, I talk about Blurp. Huh. Interesting.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
Here comes the money.
Wait. Aureus, wait. So wait, how does that work? Are you not going to say something, non-paying members? Are you not going to say something, you pricks? Actually, that's a chat thing. I don't deal in chat politics. Wait, so Aureus, how does it work? You're the goddamn streamer. Yeah, but I'm that's like a third party thing. I'm on this side of the camera. It's a whole other thing. That was the notice that money got added to it. Well, I figured that much. With it says gifted. Thank you very much, Aureus, for gifting 2,000 to the community pool. I assume those are beats. Look at my sub badge. I'm looking at it. I'm a non-paying member because I never use blurbs. I think I need to do something. You don't deal in chat politics, but you do have a concept of a plan. I have a concept of a plan for dealing with chat politics. We're theorizing ideas around it. We'll come up with solutions to problems as they appear in our horizon to things that we think about. Hi, Silky. Silky, how are you? Welcome in. Those 2K bits can be used under the community wallet dropdown when one goes to confirm a payment on Blurp. That is the second monthly paying subscription I have to your worthless ass. Well, Slash, you shouldn't do that.
I'll take any opportunity to hate on Zach.
Okay. There you go. Well, so there you go. Chat politics, just ignore it and roast marshmallows over a dumpster fire. Exactly. Anyways, if you guys can figure out how to use the community chest, it's a cool feature, by the way. I didn't know that was a thing. That is, in fact, a cool feature. I wonder if there's a way to put like limits on it so it can only be like one person can use. I'll have to take a look. Blurp community chest. Blog? I was about to mention how much money I make you by being half your content. How dare you? You can't come in here and say that, Slashy. You can't come in here and say that. That's impossible. Understanding gambling streamer. What they are and why they're popular. Why is this even an article? Why are they writing about gambling streamers? What you need to know about late night, but what is this? Okay, I was gonna say if they just started copying and pasting my article, I was gonna be like, wait a second, Blarp, wait a second. How do I find the thing about essential tools for Twitch casino streamers? Why are they putting so much money into casino content? What? Doesn't to mention how much money. Meanwhile, your entire sub to my channel that you just used to harass me. DTS is literally paid for by Zemdo. So actually, that's how a streamer. Stop fucking lurking so much. That's how a stream works. That's how streaming works. Hey, Goof did it. Goof figured it out. My dashboard, my settings. How do I read it? How do I turn on a? How do I access the bit discount? Yeah, it does mean it's viewers. Link account browser source. Walk on. I don't know. IP switch. And then non-paying members like Slashy. Well, I didn't say that, Slashy. You have to understand, I cannot be held responsible for every single word that the chat says. I don't have that kind of control to control Aureus in that way. He can tell. I didn't confirm it either. A non-refuting doesn't mean an endorsement. It doesn't mean an endorsement. Hi, Yula Nation. Hi, Pete. How the how do we how the how? I don't know how we how the how. I don't even know how to look at it. My streams, blurbs, Twitch channel points, my live history, settings, affiliate. You just read it out loud and didn't say anything. I read a lot of things out loud that I didn't mean to say anything about. And then they end up becoming blurbs. Never had so much flipping happen off on a single joke. I know, Arias. It's wild. My stream is blurbs. Over here. Account settings, hyper wallet. No idea. No idea. Well, there you go. It is how it works. It is how it is. Slurp my man juice. Have you thought about asking Chad about the wallet? I did, but I gave up on it. Chat's screaming at me for not reading chat and then reading chat and not commenting on chat. Some big streamers are leaving YouTube for Twitch. Does the data say that that's the right move? James Hale attempting to redeem himself from his previous article that I looked at that I was like, no, this is a lie. This is a lie. Twitch is giving streamers more control over when ads run and how much revenue they make. It's a lie. It's a goddamn lie. It's a goddamn lie. But anyways, this was on 9.6. This was on 9.5. So technically it's a pre-restoring of faith in the James Hale universe. I don't think they made an announcement about it yet. I was just quietly added for testing. Oh, interesting. Oh, hell yeah. Aureus, thanks so much for letting us know and putting the 20 into the wallet, community wallet. 3 years ago, major Twitch streamers like Dr. Lupo, Sakuno,
subscriber,
Lily Pichu, and Tim the Tapman. Francesco, thank you so much for the Prime Gaming sub. Thank you. Hell yeah. Best subs available. Prime Gaming. Because they don't cost anything extra. This is so helpless. Like, how is there so much misinfo about how ads work on Twitch? It's literally so easy. I know, Slashy. I know. It's really it is really frustrating to me, but it's one of those things that I just kind of go, I can't win this fight anymore. Began leaving the platform to sign exclusive live streaming deals with YouTube. These deals were reportedly so good financially that it would make absolutely no sense for streamers to turn them down. And at the same time, Twitch's
open the door, or I'm gonna throw rocks.
Dan Clancy, get out of here.
Windows, you
Dan,
dumb whore.
Get out of here, Dan. Twitch's reputation had been souring from broad spectrum concerns over its revenue split to individual incidents that showed lack of care, like the platform spelling Sakuno's name wrong in an official email. Well, that'll do it. That'll do it. Now those deals are ending, and pretty much everyone who signed them is going back to Twitch. Yesterday, thanks so much for the 7-stream streak. Is that not the right move? Oh, wait, no. Is that the right move? Is that the right move? Ludwig thinks so, but the whole situation is more complicated than it sounds. So let's break it down. First, some context. In the time since those streamers moved to YouTube, Twitch has gotten a new CEO, revised its revenue split, and crucially begun allowing streamers to broadcast concurrently across Twitch and other platforms. That is true. Twitch is not growing. It's actually losing share of the live streaming market to YouTube. Meanwhile, YouTube has grown 5% since this time last year, and in quarter 2 2024 generated 15.248 billion watch hours for live stream content. Now, it is important to know, in that same time period, Twitch generated 4.848 billion. It is important to know that this number includes all live stream content. And so an example of all live stream content is things like all of those 24/7 news channels. It is things like... I just wet myself. Well, there that is. It's things like what's her name? My gosh, why can't I ever think of the goddamn thing? Yeah, it worked. Lo-Fi Girl, thank you. Eula Nation knew exactly what I was talking about. Yeah, hi Chris. Hi LaBuff. Ludwig is a beef with YouTube over live streaming. Hi Enox. Yeah, so it is a kind of situation where the overall that many hours of billions of watch hours isn't actually an accurate assessment. If you do... I just wet myself. If you do... then reduce that down to the actual comparative numbers, it's a little bit closer. It's like 4 or 2 billion watch hours, something like that. But it is increasing. It is dramatically increasing as there is more content that is now being broadcast there as people are live streaming increasingly to YouTube and to other platforms. Wet Myself remix. Guys are unhinged. So yeah. But yes, Twitch market share is declining. Even if you just ignore this stat here, Twitch market share is declining, and platforms like Soup and Chiswick and even Kick are in fact growing in market share compared to Twitch. Not entirely a surprise. But it is one of those things that their platform dominance is being loosened by their own confidence, which rightly so. They should be confident in that they are the best place for live content, but different people consume different content on different platforms. For example, Silky right now is on YouTube because Twitch is blocked in her workplace, but she can watch from YouTube. It's not blocked there. So there is an inherent benefit to multicasting, is that there's going to be different people who are going to consume things in different ways. Even if the overall experience is slightly different, even if the chat is less active on YouTube, there's still a benefit there for people who cannot watch on Twitch for whatever reason. Hi, Finn. Not blocked at work. Heck yeah, Finn. Not yet anyways. Not yet anyways. Ludwig has beef with YouTube over live streaming. Does he? Last December, he gave the platform, which is a streaming deal with him, 1 year to get its shit together on things like having a very slim suite of engagement and moderation tools, not allowing streams longer than 12 consecutive hours. That one really doesn't make much sense. Not having enough incentive for subscribers, and the chat system flowing like a geriatric man's piss. Yeah, this is absolutely valid things to be annoyed with YouTube about. YouTube had a plan for live streaming back in 2017, 2018, 2019, even 2020. Unfortunately, I think a lot of those aspirations were tied in with the vision of Fwiz, who was the head of YouTube's live gaming side of things at the time, but then he left the company. And others took up the mantle behind him. For example, Jeffrey, and they had a new head of gaming in that space as well, in Leo Alibi. But ultimately, YouTube decided, hey, we're not going to necessarily pivot more towards YouTube or towards live. We're pivoting towards short content. Let's compete with YouTube because we can. let's compete with TikTok because we can, because they do a VOD format. We do VOD format. We can easily integrate that into our ecosystem and push it at scale. Whereas whereas live content, you just can't. The same problems that Twitch has with discovery is going to also be a problem on YouTube. Even though they have discovery, it's still hard to figure out how to serve live content in a search engine format. So now YouTube is kind of stuck in a place of, well, we're not investing this in right now, and we don't need to invest in this right now. Their general belief about Twitch is that given enough time, Twitch will probably fold on its own, leaving them the ultimate leader in live streaming space, YouTube that is, due to the fact that Twitch just cannot figure out how to become profitable. It'll eventually, I think this is the sentiment that they have, and I've heard this translated through the grapevine in a couple different ways, in basically saying that, yeah, they don't have to do anything. Twitch will eat its own tail eventually and self-consume itself into oblivion. So, and then Amazon will just get pissed and either try to sell it to somebody else or just shut it down. That's their belief. Will that happen? I don't know, but it is kind of an interesting thing to that's how YouTube seems to be thinking about the live streaming space. It's something supplemental that they offer, but it's not something crucial that they need to have and focus on and improve upon. And so YouTube. I don't know why YouTube has been such a hard thing to say this stream, perhaps because I recorded a video earlier and I'm already all talked out. But Ludwig has reasonable beef with the platform not doing anything. I'm personally surprised, shocked even, that they haven't done anything, nothing, in the last year or so. Like nothing. They haven't made any updates to emotes.
Let's
they
take
haven't
about 20% offer over there, eh?
They haven't made any updates to emotes. They haven't made any updates to channel redirects. They haven't made any updates to the chat experience. They haven't made any updates to the behind the scenes for creators, other than they introduced a kind of an automated ad system, kind of like YouTube. They just haven't done enough to actually make any kind of meaningful progress on it. And I don't think that they're focused. I don't think that they care. And I don't think that they're focused on it right now. And I think that what will eventually happen is YouTube will realize, or YouTube will wait for the technology to make it more financially viable. At that point, once it's like, okay, yeah, live streaming doesn't necessarily cost as much as it currently does, and so it doesn't eat away at our overall ad profits, we can actually offer it more directly as the market starts to turn, because I do believe that live streaming's best days remain ahead of it. I've been insistent upon that for years now. I don't know what time frame that looks like in terms of 1 year, 3 year, 5 years, 10 years, but I do believe that live streaming's best days are ahead of it still. As people get fed up and tired with algorithms and being constantly fed and attention grabbing and attention seeking and all this kind of stuff that is like trying to get you next video, next video, next video, next video, next thing to watch, next thing, swipe. YouTube live content is just kind of nicer to just sit there and be like, I can breathe without all of that chaos trying to take me into the next thing. So that's my feeling overall on YouTube and the live streaming space and where it's going to go on YouTube anyways, and how they're kind of feeling about it and why they just kind of stopped doing anything with it. Hi, Secretary of Streaming. LewTube, that's got to be a thing. Oh, I'm sure it is. They made a minor update to make moderating easier. You can see chat history as you know. Fair. Yeah. Hi, Pete. I hate how mods on YouTube can't pin messages. Twitch and YouTube live streams are the reason why I don't even watch Netflix anymore. Well, there you go. I'm Mr. Big Noodle. Scrolling is kind of lonely experience, and live streaming feels like you're not alone. Exactly. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. As I said, my feeling of the current content sphere is that I think kind of like, I mean, if you go through like history and you kind of look at like how people's consumption patterns have changed over the years, I think that ultimately you will have kind of a revival of, I just want a slower content experience. I don't necessarily want to there will always there will always be people who want the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. There's always going to be those kind of people. But I think a lot more people are going to find the benefits of something that they can sit down, put in the background. Like I think this is kind of maybe a more unique experience for people who are, again, I don't know if Zoomers have the same experience, but certainly for millennials, a very common thing for millennials is watching shows that you've already watched. You've seen them before. You've seen it in the past. You've watched the entire season. You've probably watched it 3 times in a row. Like you've seen the entire series, but you watch it again because it's a comfort thing. You know it, you recognize it, it sits in the background. You can pay attention for the scenes or the moments that you're like, oh, I can't wait to watch this part again. It's not like this constant, oh, I need to have something new, brand new that has my attention the entire time. And I think that historically, a lot of people have had versions of that. In that my grandparents, I think that, or in my parents, like my parents still listen to the same music that they used to listen to. It's something that they put in the background. They don't necessarily watch TV, but music was a big part of their youth and their experience growing up. And so it's become like something that they always have on. They're always listening to 70s. They're always listening to 80s. They're always listening to that kind of music that they've heard a billion times before. And there's never anything new that's played. And they don't listen to new music, but it's always old. And then going back before that, I think of my grandparents and my grandfather on my dad's side comes from Newfoundland. And he still listens to Newfie music from when he was a kid. He plays it on cassette tapes, and that's all that he listens to. And it's kind of always on. And then on my other side of the family, my other grandparents, they listen to classical music all the time, nonstop. And so I think that for our generation, we got used to the idea of that, but with TV. And so things that we grew up with TV, we watch the same. We watch Friends over and over, and Seinfeld and The OC and all these other shows that we've seen many times before, but they end up becoming repeats because they're comfort. It's kind of just like the background noise that we like. And that's why I think the next thing is going to happen for the current generation of people who watch live streamers and YouTubers is you put on something that is similar to that is background noise, streamers, and you just have that kind of playing, and it's in the background, and you know you can pay attention if you want to, or you can tune out. It doesn't really matter, and sometimes you'll be actively engaged and interested in what's happening. And I just think that that's going to be a trend that continues to grow the same way that kind of passive consumption for millennials of TV content, and then passive consumption of music content for boomers and Gen X and so on. That's my feeling anyway. That's my feeling. And I've read a little bit about it. I've read a little bit about why we listen to the things that we do and the patterns of media consumption. So it's not a fully uninformed, just guesswork kind of assessment there. There is some research behind that as well. I did see that YouTube allows creators to give 10 free memberships to communities. That's kind of cool. They do. Yeah, they do allow that. That is true. And I think that's more about trying to get, it's like their version of Prime, trying to get people to experience what it is to get a membership. Hi, Noah. I can't do that much at all. Watching those things more than once or playing a game more than once. Okay, really? You can't, Vin? Interesting. 45, Singletary. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I put on the TV in the background, completely muted. So for him, is it the sound? Because that used to be a thing for my dad. He would do it too. He'd mute it, but it was the sound of the TV that had like that slight, like a high pitched squeal. I don't know how to describe it, but like I can remember that from when I was a kid. There's a great article on why we listen to the same music. We're imprinted at a certain age and we continue with that music. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I've obviously had a very different experience from a lot of people in that, like, I listen to like Lil Mabu and all this stuff that's like completely brand new that I'm a man out of time in that regard. I'm listening to Zoomer music and I'm just like, yeah, I kind of like this song. It's pretty good. Ben, congratulations on 10. Hell yeah, Ben. Thank you. I'm putting up some curtains while I have you in the background. Heck yeah. The old TVs had that high-pitched whine. Yeah. Yeah, he likes the images on the screen. He'll watch with captions on at least. Okay, that's interesting. Zoomer music. I know. You guys know about Lil Mabu? I think I've played him on stream before.
Hey, yo. I see this little Mabu kid. Yes. Young genius.
Yeah, so there you go. I don't think it's going to be for the vast majority of people. But I kind of like it. My parents' daughter is 10, so Zoomer Alpha, and she watches YouTube videos, and we've already seen the same way. Ah, okay. Anyways, I mostly listen to Gen X music. Gen X music is pretty good. It's pretty good. You like it because it has grime overtones? Possibly. I mean, it's the actual technical term of what it's called is drill. It's drill music. Anyways, let's continue on. All of these things factor into why streamers are choosing to return to Twitch, but number 2 explains why they aren't just completely abandoning YouTube. Many of them, like Dr. Lupo and Tim the Tapman, are choosing to multi-stream across both Twitch and YouTube, so neither audience is abandoned. Yeah, what I will say is that if you put years into cultivating an audience on an alternate platform, coming back to Twitch and not continuing to support that audience is a huge mistake. A massive mistake, in that you've grown something that there's always going to be people who only know you from your YouTube channel. I'm actually kind of interested in Swag, because Swag came back to YouTube, and I don't know if he still streams on... Or so he came back to Twitch, and I don't know if he still streams on YouTube. Yeah, so he came back to 7K. Now he's got 3K.
Face Swag
and then
Face Swag versus Face Diop.
Hold on. 1 second. Okay. Sorry. My cat was making a sound. They're making a sound, and so I was just like, I want to see what he's doing. Does he stream still? Yeah, so he just did full on abandon. He just decided, yeah, I'm done with YouTube. I think that's a mistake. Anyways. Hi, Cal. That's a great reason to keep making YouTube videos. That's how I found you. What is your browser login for your Tangia? My browser link? What is my browser link? What do you mean? Maybe do edited vids on YouTube and live on Twitch. Yeah, I think that is what he's doing. He's still doing that. But look at this. 185, 62, 69, 50K. His live streams were getting more than that. 260, 350, 76, 95. So his live streams are doing better than his VODs. Strange. I'm done with Twitch. It's 6-hour-long video essays for me now. I started watching the one that Aurea sent on Star Trek. I'm 45 minutes in. I don't know what it is, but you're right. Video essays are kind of fun to watch. I don't know why, but yeah.
What the is this piece of...
The viewer link page? I think it's just Tangia.co/Zach Bussey. It should just be that. It should just be that. Not gonna lie, I love H Bomber Guy. He's my fucking idol. Twitch/live streaming has stagnated though. It has. It does kind of feel like we're in a weird period for streaming. And I think that's largely because there's just nothing new exciting happening in the live streaming space. Like, It just doesn't feel that exciting right now. Just doesn't. It just doesn't. And it's because it's a space in decline for the time being. I'm sure that'll change, though. I want to be murdered. What? I want to be murdered while listening to his video essay about pathologic. Pathologic? All right, Cal. Cal, are you okay? Cal, I'm not a therapist, but are you all right? Tim the Tapman, for example. No, I'm not okay. All right, well, fair enough. Hold on, let me log into Tangia, see if there's something that I have to approve. I don't think there's anything I have to approve. No. No approvals necessary. I think chat just types in chat to make new blurb con. Oh, okay, maybe. Tim the Tapman, for example, had 17,000 viewers on Twitch when he began broadcasting there after 3 years of absence. He was multi-streaming, so picked up an additional 11,000 viewers from the audience he'd built on YouTube during that gap. YouTube's former head of gaming, Ryan Wyatt, who I mentioned before is Fwiz, thinks that that's the strat. When Twitch eased up its partner policy, allowing people to stream everywhere, the right thing, and they deserve kudos for doing it. The correct answer was multicasting. Expand your reach. There's too much great software out there that makes it so easy. He tweeted after Dr. Lupo and Tim the Tapman announced they'd begin multi-streaming on September 1st. Yeah, I agree. Ludwig doesn't agree. Okay. Ludwig says, you don't become the next Kai Cenat if you have 50,000 viewers on YouTube and 50,000 viewers on Twitch. No, I agree with this. But I also don't think that we're going to see the next Kai Cenat come from streaming just yet. I don't think that it's going to inherently happen that way. I think Kai Cenat is a unique case, a unique character, a unique talent that doesn't just pop up the same way that I don't think that anybody does. And so my feeling is that the better thing to do is to potentially put yourself out to more potential fishing holes. And then if you find something that's working on one platform, then perhaps that's when you drive people to the main. It's really not that hard, though. It really isn't that hard to create a kind of a crossover experience, especially if you get to be this big. Like if you have 50,000 viewers and you have 100,000 on YouTube and you have 10,000 on... 100,000 on Twitch and 10,000 on YouTube. It's really not going to make that much of a difference. Like the chat fracturing that is going to occur is very, very minor. The places where I think that it can potentially be a problem is a mid-range streamer in that 300 to 1,000 group. That says 10,000, but it's meant to say 1,000. I think that's where you potentially have the problem because you're not big enough to have chat yet, but you are big enough to have an audience that can make this sustainable. And I think that it can potentially be an issue if you're only focusing on a Twitch chat and you have, again, the same number of people on a YouTube chat. You probably won't. But I'd say that's the only time where I would be like, okay, maybe you want to focus in on one. But that's just kind of a feeling based upon community, rather than it being based upon anything concrete, like, oh yeah, you're going to run into this kind of issue here. I just don't think that'll happen. Trying to create something that hasn't been done before isn't a guarantee for success either. I actually agree with Ludwig that the rich get richer in most situations. Oh, for sure. Yeah, I agree with that. First time chatter. Hi, Mayor McCheese. I've noticed a strong decline in overall viewership on Twitch in general past a year or two. Do you think us small streamers will eventually get eaten by larger? No. Nope, because I think that ultimately the impact of most drawdowns hits larger streamers more than it hits small. And by that, I mean, let's take a look. Who's been here the entire time that's been a major streamer? Mizkif. Let's look at their last 365 days. No, let's actually go back 2 years. September of 2022. That is a negative trend. They've gone from 24,000 average down to 18,000 average, maybe 20,000. It's pretty significant. Year over year, they're down 350 viewers overall. If we look at who else? Forsen? Yeah. Down 23% year over year. Again, if we pull this back, we see the full year picture. Yeah, like it's a very clear downward trend. Dan's Gaming, sure. And again, this isn't meant to be like shit on these people. It just means that you end up getting a generally harder hit. Up 4.5% year over year. We pull this back, go back a year. And yeah, a negative trend. Carnage. Down 18% year over year. Go back to 2022. And yeah, it's a very clear decline. Averaging about 10,000 before to, oh no, I guess technically a little bit higher, but 10,000. It's the streaming space overall.
A new follower.
You can look at your most watched streamers, and this will actually kind of show more of that. Kai Cenat year over year is up 3.4%. Ebuy down 3%. Gulls down 30%. Jinxie up 300%. Queso, who is a recent startup, up 1,400%. Hassan Abi down 16%. Asmongold up 50%. Cadrill up 250%. But like these are wild swings. 30% for Tarek. 16% for OTP LOL. Hi Queen, how are you? Hi Swifty. Wait. Hi Swifty. Co's actually talked about these numbers before. He rarely admits I was stupid when I started to get big. I made mistakes. Sure, everybody does. Everybody does. It's hard to not make mistakes. Better metric of viewership as a percentage of views on the website. Sure, I agree. And you can see that expressed here. Long-term stats. You can see very clearly from this overall, this chart, to go from where we were in 2021. Oh, that's average channels. I always do this. This is the one I want. Average view. No, that's also not the one I want. Overall stats. Well, I guess I can do it from this place. Yeah. Average viewers, watch hours. Actually, Twitch trackers ends up being better. Unfortunately, it does end up being better for looking at longer time frames. Watch time, because they have these little just fancy charts that just kind of show there's 2021, here's 2022, here's 2023 down here, and here's 2024. And so 2024 is currently, in terms of total watch hours, below 2023, below 2022, and below 2021. And earlier this year, it was trending below 2020. So it'll be interesting to see how this kind of continues to play out. Historically, as you can see, there is typically an increase during the summer months that then goes down. You see that on almost every situation here. Typically goes down, but we'll see if that continues. So anyways, all that is to say is that the overall space has experienced decline. Since 2021, it has gone down in terms of overall viewership, in terms of overall number of streamers that are live. This is the total active creators. Peaked in January 2022 with 1.2 million affiliates and 38,000 partners to where we are now. 900,000 affiliates and engagement farming. It's not real content. 36,000 partners. And keep in mind, during that time, we have increased the number of partners from, I want to say, 60,000 to 78,000. So a dramatic increase in the total number of partners, but the number of partners that are active has decreased overall. Hi, Violet. Affiliated GG forum, but I messed up and didn't include my name, but I just wanted to say happy to chat if you need more info. I have a bit of info as well. Oh, heck yeah, Violet. Thank you. I appreciate it. Started going back up since the launch of the new mobile app UI, by the way. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but yeah, we'll see. Causation, correlation, not necessary. But we'll see. Anyways, back to this article. Let's get through this. Let's get this done. He does admit that smaller streamers who are testing the water and also bigger creators hosting marquee events like his own streamer games should multi-stream those events. But streamers looking to be the biggest in the world should narrow their focus to an audience on one platform. I don't agree. I just don't agree. I think that having your potential lure in more ponds gives you a higher chance of actually finding an audience. So again, this is personal opinion here because there's no real defined answer to this. There's no person who has grown as a multi-streamer in terms of being the next big one. There's only been large creators on Twitch and large creators on YouTube. That's it. So we don't really have any kind of data that necessarily supports it either way. With that being said, are the people going back to Twitch, whether they're multi-streaming or not, choosing the right platform? Oh, yes, they are. They are. Twitch remains the best place for live content. No doubt. As Ludwig points out, it's clear developing better live streaming tools isn't a priority for YouTube, but despite its lack of investment in the live streaming side of things, YouTube still generates far more live hours watched overall and is still home to the world's biggest live streamer events by peak viewership. According to data from Stream Charts, YouTube is responsible for nearly all peak viewership live stream events, from OnePlus India's coverage of the latest Indian election peaking at 9.4 million concurrent viewers, to Apple's product announcement peaking at 3.7 million. And Law and Crime's Johnny Depp trial coverage peaking at 3.5. And while YouTube isn't doing so hot with English-speaking streamers or viewers, who both tend to prefer Twitch because of its better chatting system, Ludwig says, it's crushing with non-English users, especially Asian streamers and viewers. Ludwig specifically credits VTubers, noting that Kai Cenat and iShowSpeed recent Minecraft stream peaked at 700k. Wait, what? Peaked at 700,000 concurrent viewers on Twitch, while VTuber Minato Aqua's stream about leaving management company HoloLive peaked at 735 on YouTube. He also says to keep an eye on South Korea, which turned on to YouTube after Twitch ceased operations there earlier this year, saying that it was too expensive. Is this just a recap of Ludwig's video? Twitch isn't good at getting huge amounts of people to watch one live stream at one moment, is what Ludwig took from this. They're good at getting people a high average average viewership for a long period of time, which honestly isn't a bad thing. It works for most people who do more chill streams. But if you are a streamer who does big events, 2-hour streams where a lot of hype shit happens, YouTube is a perfect place to be. There are clear pros and cons to both platforms. As for the tube filter take on things, we think multi-streaming isn't a bad move and gives creators a way to evaluate which platform tools works best for them and see whether their audience will meet them and see where their audience will meet them. Yep. I agree. All right. I'd say definitely because of the products and companies that stream on YouTube. I've always said that Twitch is real engagement. I never watch live streams on YouTube. That's fair. Yeah. Again, it really does feel like the overall... Actually, the perfect response to this was... oh, man, I'm so bad with names lately. It's awful. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue, too. Squeaks! There it is. Squeaks had the best take on this. Best lurk experience. Yeah. Twitch, best chat experience. YouTube, best lurk experience. Kick, best slur experience. That is the ultimate best take for this overall. I'm surprised how much TikTok live streams I watch now. Really, Dexter? That's interesting. I can't get into them. It's not for me. That's usually because I'm watching TikTok before I go to bed, so it's not something that I'm actively engaging in. All right. We got to listen to this podcast. Campaign US Chemistry with Allison Weisbrot of Campaign US and Rachel Delphine of Twitch, which is the chief marketing officer. And this is, if you don't know what Campaign US is, do they have a description here of what they are? About, yeah. Just so you understand, this is for marketing people. This is the advertising marketing side of things. So it's not meant for you and I, but that's what makes it interesting, I think. Campaign is dedicated to celebrating creative excellence across the communications industry while putting creativity firmly in a business context. I wonder what the TikTok stream stats are. I suspect it's much bigger than people imagine. Yeah, it probably is. It probably is. I'd love to find that out for sure. So let's listen in to Twitch CMO Rachel Delphine chatting on campaign chemistry with Allison Weisbrot. And play. This came out today, by the way. It's fresh content. Aw, shit.
Welcome to Campaign Chemistry, where we pick the brains of creative alchemists, business wizards, and marketing geniuses behind the world.
God. Creative alchemists? Social media ninjas. Oh, God, I'm not going to stop. Social media passionista. All right.
World's greatest brands.
Can you volume up the pod? Is it not loud enough? Can you not hear it? Just try it up. Good.
Misconceptions about the gaming community that Rachel Delphine is working to dispel.
Delphine,
The Twitch CMO
you said it wrong.
says that as live streaming technology becomes more advanced, more creators are entering the Twitch universe from different categories, from travel to music to entertainment. And she's working to help the community and advertisers understand the breadth of content on the platform.
Okay.
In this episode, Delphine also teases plans for TwitchCon, kicking
Delphine.
off in San Diego on September 20th, and shares her predictions on where the live streaming space is headed.
Okay, predictions.
I'm your host, Allison Weisbrot, editor-in-chief of Campaign US, and you're listening to Campaign Chemistry.
Bum, 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 bum.
Hi, Rachel. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm good.
Hey, audio's not so bad. Not so bad. Delphine, like I want this podcast to be fine-nished.
Thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today.
Thank you.
God damn it, Cal.
For having me. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. So tell me about your remit at Twitch. Obviously, you...
Hi, Lamp. Creative Alchemist. Why do I feel like any company who calls their employees that also says stuff like, we're all a big family? It was a big thing in the social media space, I want to say a decade ago, but it was probably more like 12 at this point. Maybe 13. But a lot of people were calling themselves like social media gurus and social media ninjas, and like everybody had like a strange moniker for it that implied that they were they were super into it. What was that? Belle Delphine. Okay.
Are the CMO, but what aspects of...
Maybe Rachel says it Delphine instead of Delphine. I say it Delphine. That's the way that I say it. I think I'm correct. I don't fall for all of Twitch's marketing. I say no. You can call that little the September emote. You can call that subby all you want. His name is, or its name is Haffy. That is Haffy, the September emote. September sub button. And he's Haffy because it's only half of his body. And it's Haffy because he eats half of your sub revenue. See? That's Haffy. Hi, J-Rob.
the platform's marketing do you oversee exactly?
What did she say? A vocal fry.
Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. So tell me about your remit at Twitch. Obviously, you are the CMO, but
Your
what
remit?
aspects of-
What's your remit? What does that mean? I don't even know what that means, but okay. Hi, Patchy.
of the platform's marketing do you oversee exactly?
So my remit includes communications, it includes creative, it includes branding campaigns, events, social media. Sorry, I'm running through the mental list in my head. And, strategy and operations, channels and channel planning. So the full gamut, and that's global as well. And then very importantly is sort of community engagement and community management. So customer groups for us, but also a lot of different sort of channels and forums that we manage to make sure that we are connected, informing, and making sure that we are accessible.
Would that be like?
And now even DJs in the 70-30 split are also getting half their revenue taken regardless. So, hey, half exactly, Violet. You get it.
A Discord channel, for instance?
Yes, exactly. So we do have Discord channels for some specific groups. So we have a group called the Twitch Ambassadors, and those are folks, and there's new ones admitted every year, who are really sort of pillars of their community, pillars of content. They work with us to preview new features, for example, or new policies, for example. So they're really partners with us in that. And then we utilize them a lot and give them a lot of opportunities for promotion. Across a lot of our surfaces. And then we have some identity-based groups. So we have what we call guilds. They are centered around different identities. So women, Latino and Hispanic, Black, and then we are very soon going to launch an LGBTQIA.
Awesome. So you have been at Twitch for a while, right? About 6 years or so. Talk about how the strategy has kind of changed and evolved in that time.
Yes, please, because I'm intrigued by this question. Tell me how the strategy has changed exactly. Tell me what has changed about the overall strategy of marketing at Twitch
as the platform has grown.
Yeah, it really follows the sort of arc of reaching some maturity and awareness, and as those funnel metrics have, gone up and to their right, the strategy has changed. So when I first got here,
yeah, because they stopped going up and to the right. By the way, I'm going to point it out. Again, we can all accept it. It's an actual fact. We don't have to pretend that a fucking global pandemic didn't help that up and to the right movement that had nothing inherently to do with how Twitch was marketing and positioning itself, and everything to do with the fact that we're all terrified of potentially dying. You can't claim credit for that. And if you do, you got bigger questions to ask.
Years ago, it was relatively unknown if you would talk from like a sort of mainstream or gen pop. And if it was understood, it was quite shallow, right? So it was like, isn't there an association with gaming?
There's still such a huge, okay. All right. I gotta remember. We're on the inside track of this. And this is for the outside track.
Or gamers, but it was, to the extent that we had any familiarity, it was pretty shallow. And then of course we have this really enthusiastic core group as well. So we had this great asset, which is like people were using it and they were loving it and they were strong advocates, but it wasn't really like breaking through, right. Outside of our own bubble. And so the initial strategy was really about telling a cohesive story and telling the right kind of story. Because again, as I said,
and then that didn't really work, but fortunately we got the benefit of a disease. I'm sorry. It's a kind of thing of like, I don't know how you can sit. It doesn't seem like the right strategy to be like, yeah, so this is how we were doing our marketing, and then we shifted to do this, and then we saw this massive growth from those overall marketing endeavors. It's just, what? No, that's not how it really played out. Again, maybe she's not claiming this credit. Maybe she's talking what was 6 years ago? 2018? I love being a gamer, dude. I love being on my favorite gaming platform, Twitch. Yeah, I thought Salty was supposed to be the salty one. Well,
there's a lot of association with gaming, which is true.
And it still is true today. This is the thing that I think is particularly interesting, or somewhat of a failing. Again, it's also hard for me to also say that with a straight face, because it's not necessarily a direct failing of Twitch's marketing, but rather a failing of being able to expand beyond in terms of the content that exists here, which I don't think that Twitch has a very good ability to be able to push for content that is not gaming. You go with what people know about the platform, and I don't think that Twitch has the ability to project a wider understanding that, hey, we're actually not about gaming. We're about everything, including gaming. But we have a lot of non-gaming content. So it's the kind of thing of like, I don't know that they could even do that. Yeah.
$5 a month.
Samdo. Thank you, Zemdo, for the 28-month resub. 28 months?
Correct, but we don't make games. And so there was this like interesting assumptions about what we did within the space. And so it was really about telling a story. Hey, this is about community and it's about connection. It's people coming together based on their interests, of which gaming is the top and, vast majority of what's bringing people together. But it's.
See, even like, okay. Again, this is for advertisers and marketing people, right? So it doesn't really matter that much. Like, they're not going to find a bunch of people who are listening to this who are like, oh, I guess I'll go listen. I'll go check out Twitch now. But like, even in saying all this stuff about how gaming is like the vast majority of the content here, I think that they should just even say, yeah, we have our biggest category is non-gaming content. It's just chatting. It is people who are coming, talking about something they're passionate about. They're talking about marketing. They're talking about advertising. They're talking about food. They're talking about a book. Like, I almost think that they, especially in the marketing sense, that they should never even mention gaming at all. That's the approach that I would take. Again, this is also an audience of marketing people and advertising people, so they're not going to be, the vast majority are probably not going to be gamers, but that's the way that I would position it. I would not even mention gaming. She doesn't talk about all the good things about Twitch, like community, the charity, the camaraderie. It's like she doesn't know what she's selling. Well, again, it's also a kind of thing of that from the perspective of Twitch trying to position itself to, again, this is a audience of marketing people. I don't know. And it's the same issue that we had with yesterday's podcast with Jez in terms of if you're talking to an audience of other developers, I don't necessarily know that a lot of the things that you're going to say are going to convince people to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to go check out Twitch. But like, he didn't mention that Twitch has a developing and growing and an important a group of like software developers who do their coding live on Twitch, and a developer community that is actively growing as part of it. And I was just kind of like, it's kind of just like one of those small missed opportunities to like focus in on like a general messaging from all of Twitch executives to any time they do any of these podcasts, to just be like, yeah, let's hit on the fact that we are not just a gaming platform. Yeah, sure, there's Fortnite here. Yeah, you're going to find some League of Legends here for sure. But let's really try to emphasize to all of these different podcasts that are not endemic, that these people are going on, that are not endemic. Again, there's only 300 views on that previous one, so it's not a huge thing. But ultimately, let's make sure that we communicate, hey, if you're a marketing person, you're an advertising person, you might actually find a lot of value in streaming your morning thoughts, or you're reading through the articles and find other marketing people that may be on the platform that might be interested in that kind of content. You could do it on LinkedIn, but nobody's watching live streams on LinkedIn. You should do it on Twitch. It's where people are. Like, that's just how I would kind of try to get everybody on board at Twitch, is to talk a little bit more about because again, they keep saying it. They keep saying, oh, we're not just gaming. We're not just gaming. But then they never mention anything that's not gaming. Or they lean into the fact that it's gaming. Hi, Colt. Is an exec staying indicated by podcasts? Oh, that's a good question. Has Minty done a podcast? I don't know if he has or not.
Also, there's a long tail of content and growing content categories, emerging categories, really anything you can think of. Travel, outdoors, cooking, music, chess. And so the first part of the strategy was like,
chess is still gaming.
Let's make sure that we have a story. Let's tell that story. And then as we have sort of moved into, I think, more awareness, higher, consideration, we're moving a little bit deeper down and talking about, how do we remove perceptual barriers so people now understand what it is? How do we then start to address some of those assumptions or beliefs people have about Twitch? Hey, it's not for me, or it's only gaming, or those kinds of things. So how do we tell a story that's really more about the breadth of the content on the service?
Yes.
And is not only about...
Oh, wait, service. Uh-oh. She's still saying service? Are we service or platform? Are we going back to that debate? Oh, no.
But of course, this, as I said, aspect of community. And
yeah,
sorry, I'm gonna no, it's
go
okay.
ahead.
Once I
Also, I'm gonna say, Rachel, have some goddamn confidence. You're an expert in this. This Allison Weisbrod doesn't know shit. She brought you on. This is the thing that I'll tell anybody who goes on a podcast. Don't apologize for being confident and being able to talk about something that you're interested in. Like, she's apologized twice now, and like, oh, I'm getting ahead of myself, or I'm getting, like, don't. You're there as a guest. You're there to talk. Nobody wants to hear what the hell Allison Weisbrod is up to. They want to hear what's going on at Twitch from Rachel Delphine. So I noticed it in the previous podcast that we listened to as well. It was kind of like, oh, not sure where to speak up, but she should. She's a high level executive. She's worked her way up. She's a top exec at a massive company. Have the fucking confidence to go into this podcast and show that off. Allison doesn't know shit. Rachel knows everything. Stand on that. Stand on that. Rice bread, isn't that the bread of a white bread in Nordic? It could be. That can't help but advocating for creators. It's true, though. It's true. Like, it's a kind of thing of... It's a kind of thing of the same way that, like, when you listen to people who are on podcasts who are kind of like a little meek or a little like they're not sure how to go, it doesn't end up being a good podcast, and you kind of lose the audience relatively quickly. But if you go in and you're strong and you're talking, like let the host and I've apologized in the past because I can talk for a long period of time. And I've been like, oh, I've been talking for so long, and I'm sure you have actual questions. And so you kind of can like cede control back to the host in a way that doesn't have you apologizing necessarily. So it is a kind of thing you can be aware of, but like, that's why you're here. Like, she knows what she's talking about. You don't have to apologize to Allison. That's just what I'm thinking. Super work made me lose my watch. Oh no, legit black chick. I'm sorry to hear. Well, it just means that you get to start a new one. It's a whole fresh new adventure. There's a push to try to appear humble. That is something old guard marketers still push, and it always comes off as missing confidence or authority. Yeah, I just think in the podcast format, I think in any kind of talk-based format, having the confidence and the swagger of being of knowing what you're doing and knowing what you're saying and being confident in it, I think that carries a lot more than pleasantries and being kind and not wanting to talk over the other person. I think in a podcast format, because the ultimate goal is to keep the listener engaged, I think that they would much rather just have somebody kind of keep talking and being interesting rather than like the kind of the shallow of like, so what did you do here and what did you do then and then that. I think it just kind of go with the flow of a conversation makes for a better overall show. I'll be lurking as always. Just gotta caught you. Hell yeah. I appreciate the lurk.
You're talking about this. You can't stop me. I think that in terms of like how
Good.
we have executed on
Wait,
that,
hold on. Did I just need to wait 3 more seconds? 1 second.
or those kinds of things. So how do we tell a story that's really more about the breadth of the content on the service and is not only about creators, but of course this, as I said, aspect of community. And
yeah,
sorry, I'm gonna no, it's
go
okay.
ahead.
Once I get talking about this, you can't stop me.
Good.
I think that in terms of like how we have executed on that,
Good.
community
Okay.
has always
All right. I take back a tiny bit. I take it back. All right. I take it back. She did push through and persevere through that. Good. All right. Back to being all right. We're good.
been part of the story. It's, we have this saying that's like, come for the video, stay for the chat. So you come because you're interested in a game you're playing,
Stop saying game. Stop it. Nope. Lost me again.
Stardew Valley, which is what I
Nope. I mean, it's a fine game. It's a completely fine game, but nope. We just said we're trying to do things that are non-gaming. We're trying to get rid of not get rid of, but trying to dissuade the people of thinking of Twitch as a gaming platform only. Non-gaming content should have been brought up. Sports, food, cooking, coding, talking, anything except for Stardew Valley. Great game. But if we're trying to break those things, you got to break them. Gotta break them.
Or you play Fortnite, right? And so you're really interested, you're enjoying that game or that IP or whatever. And so you find Twitch and you find a creator. But the bond and the reason why people stay is because they're not only inspired and feeling attached and sort of like a patron of the streamer, but they start to form relationships with each other. So the other viewers. And so one of our big strategic shifts over the last few years was we should be a participant in the community. If we want to tell a story about community and Twitch, we have to embody that same idea. So that's when we started to do a lot more with the groups that I was referencing, moving into more forums and spaces, both, third-party events, first-party events, so that we were sort of always bringing people together, but also being more active participants in all the places that we were, sort of overseeing or managing or even just being there, so that we weren't just, a third party in those conversations, but we're actively leaning in.
Yeah.
Hi, Bat.
So talk about some of the misconceptions of Twitch. Obviously, one of them is that it's just a gaming platform, but talk about what these misconceptions are, and maybe as well from not just users, but brands buying into the platform, and then talk about how you're trying to like change the narrative.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think there's a couple. You hit on one of the big ones, right? It is only for gaming. And what I think is kind of interesting about that statement is often when people are saying, oh, it's only for gaming, it overlooks how universal gaming is, right? So I think sometimes it is implied when folks, say that to me casually.
I don't care. I don't like this. I don't like this. Yes, everybody's a gamer. There's 8 billion people in the world, and there's 16 billion gamers. We get it. Everybody's a gamer. Everybody's played solitaire on their phone or done a Sudoku puzzle in their life. But that's not that.
Or, professionally, aren't you going to get bigger than that? And I was like, well, yes, we already are, but also like 85%, for example, of like Gen Z plays games and they do it cooperatively. And, it's something that they really enjoy. It's a bigger entertainment property or sort of category than music and movies. And so I think the first thing is like gaming is universal. And the other part is, there's some beliefs about who plays games, right? That it's a certain kind of person that is largely associated with like young white males, which is not untrue, but also it's changed a lot. So of course, women, people of color, like it's a really, really diverse set of people who enjoy games and gaming. And so those are two sort of big ones, I would say, of, it's only games and who plays them. But then there's the other one, right? Which is like, it's really everything. If you look at our biggest content creators today, so the people who have the sort of biggest events and largest sort of average viewership,
never came before.
They are gamers, but they're also really entertainers, right? They're like really generalists. If you look at like a Kai Cenat, right? He does a lot of sort of celebrity slumber parties and
God damn it. Oh, please don't bring up AOC and Hassan. It's the only two things they ever bring up. Oh man.
Is a real producer of entertaining content that is not always and often isn't about games. Someone like Ibai, who is again a huge creator in Spain. His biggest event of the year and the record-breaking event of the year is a boxing tournament that has, sells out Madrid soccer tournament, soccer arenas. So it is certainly, it has changed meaningfully, and we're trying, we're telling all those stories at the same time. So in terms of how we do it,
what do you mean you're telling those stories? What? I'm sorry, but it's a kind of thing of, again, I said this yesterday when Jez was talking about Ibai's boxing event and AOC being on and Kai Cenat having a sleepover with Kevin Hart. Twitch doesn't really have their fingers. They want to be the ones stirring the drink with their finger, but they're really not. Like, those are things that are being handled outside of Twitch. And so I again, sure, it's okay to use that as obviously it's okay and important to use that as like a marketing, as a way to market outside. But as I've said yesterday, I think it's exceptionally hard for Twitch to be able to project that kind of communication outside of Twitch. And so they only end up marketing internally to each other, to us, to the existing users of Twitch, because Twitch doesn't create content. Twitch doesn't have an audience outside. Like, I don't know why Twitch doesn't have a YouTube channel, but that's beside the point. But like, even on like TikTok and Instagram, like you're still only really marketing to the people who already follow Twitch. And so it's a kind, and yeah, it's just kind of a thing of, it's what makes it hard for Twitch. It's why I don't think that it's probably a very easy job. Unlike if you're a platform like, or not a platform, if you're a brand, you can obviously go into market and you can have pop-ups and you can do advertising, you can do all these kind of different things. But the overall, the same way that like YouTube will host an event, but they don't actually, like, you don't often see a lot of ads for YouTube outside because the overall creators are doing it themselves. The people who are creating the content are doing it themselves. They're getting the marketing through partnerships with other brands that then do the market through their channels. It just feels a lot like the overall responsibility of marketing on Twitch and growing the overall pie is really, really, really hard for them to do. And so it's a kind of thing of I don't, other than what I was saying yesterday in terms of trying to lean in more towards creators and in terms of encouraging them to push outside of the boundaries, because I think that the creators, we are and our communities are obviously the best potential audiences to be able to push things outside of where Twitch currently is. Like Cal probably knows a lot of people who don't watch Twitch. And Slashy, you probably know a lot of people who don't watch Twitch. And if you said, hey, you should check out my stream on Twitch sometime, that's probably going to have a way bigger impact than if they walk down the street and they see a Twitch streamer on a billboard. I don't think that would have the same level of impact to trying to bring people to Twitch, the same way that literally users of Twitch going out into the market of people who they know or not even know, but create content for, it's going to come off more organically. It's going to end up resulting in an actual conversion compared to Twitch doing the exact same thing. I don't think has the same impact. Hi, Dr. Who. Is it Dr. Who or Drew? This is a very odd thing for business leaders to accept. You are not in control here. Yeah, exactly. Hi, Artyom. Not until YouTube is a Twitch channel. Fair.
Thanks for gifting a sub.
Nutmut. Thank you. Thank you, Nutmut, for gifting a sub to Goof. Hell yeah. Thank you. So what you're saying is Twitch should embrace the practice of door-to-door proselytizing. Yes, actually. Not a bad idea.
You know, it's about the intention and choice we put in to the sort of conversations we're having, to the assets we're creating, to the talent, creativity, and content we showcase, whether that is...
But okay, you know, the content that they showcase and all the stuff that they create, it's only for us. Like, that's who it ends up being for.
Our emails or on our social or, you know, in the sort of bigger campaigns, we're really, really mindful of the creators.
Thank you again, Nutmut. I appreciate it.
That we're promoting and showcasing, and the content that we're showcasing and promoting, and then, you know, utilizing our sort of brand platform, which is Together for Whatever, right? So that is...
They still use that?
Really hits on community without saying the word community. Mm-hmm. But also...
They still use the Together for Whatever? I thought it was... When did they get rid of the other one? Didn't they have a new one recently? Wasn't it or maybe that was the old one. You're already one of us. I guess that was 2019. So Together for Whatever was a couple years ago. But now the new one is create belonging through community. Is that what it was? Foster community. Maybe something like that. Twitch, you should stream together. Where is it? Where is the foster community? The new thing that they're foster? No. Belonging. Yeah, here it is. Our mission. This is a new mission statement. Create belonging by enabling streamers to build community. Create belonging by enabling streamers to build community. I think Together for Whatever was on that brand page. Together for Whatever is probably making a comeback so they can make it stream together for whatever. Oh, God. All right.
So the expansive, right, amount of interest and content that exists on the service.
Yeah. So you mentioned creators. Obviously, that's a big streamers, a big part of Twitch's platform.
Yeah, it's basically the entire fucking platform. If you don't have creators, there's no one else. What do you have at that point?
How do you like tap into that to build the Twitch brand? Where do they show up in your marketing?
They show up literally everywhere.
Yeah. Okay.
We are,
Yes.
I'm trying to think.
Correct.
We're
Good
rarely
answer.
saying like, come to Twitch. That's also like a very simplistic way. But the story is almost exclusively told through creators. You know, if you look at our customer journey, the reality is like most people have seen or heard of a creator before they come to Twitch. So they've discovered them on all the other social media platforms,
Right.
or, you know, within Discords or whatever the case may be. And so
Yes.
they're coming here and saying,
Yep.
I'm looking for Rachel. I'm looking for Kai. I'm looking for QT, whatever. And so we know, right, that's how people really come to Twitch, at least primarily speaking.
Right.
And so I think it's really similar to like, if you're talking about a streaming service or whatever, you're really leading with the content, and the content for us is not just the category, but is very much the creator. So we really, I truly mean everything. Like TwitchCon, we're promoting our featured creator program and the sessions that are both created and led by creators. We are very much like in a sort of co-producer, executive producer role in those cases. Campaigns, again, are very much featured on the personality, the content of the creators themselves. And the same thing really goes for social. When we look at obviously we're creating content that talks about features sometimes, and, news coming out of the service. But again, it's the most compelling content that we create is creators giving their own story, advocating for a feature.
Oh boy. They've flatlined. In terms of creating social content for Twitter, they have flatlined in growth. Like, if we zoom in here, it might be slightly positive. But, like, I mean, you can look here. This kind of, where is it? Actually, it shows down here. Yeah. Total followers for Twitch. They hit 10 million. Oh, actually, let's go back further here. It only goes back to August of 2023. 9.96, and now they're at 10.03. It's a kind of thing of, this used to show, I don't know why it doesn't show any further than that, but it used to show a lot longer. They've effectively been flatlined for a long ass time. 10.30, that's current, and then literally a month ago, same number. So it's a kind of thing of like, I don't necessarily think that from a marketing point of view, and I mean, let's just look at a bunch of different things. Twitch, let's look at their Twitch channel. Total gained followers. We see the long-term detailed statistics. Here you go. Total followers. So 2.269 to 2.350. Okay. But then it looks like TwitchCon gained them about 30,000 followers. And then, is that TwitchCon as well? June? What happened in June? When was TwitchCon Rotterdam? Hi, Fumi. Hi, Lava. Okay. Facebook, because I know they're active there. I don't know why they're active there. Video spiel. Total likes. Hey, that's going up a little bit. Detailed statistics. Here you go. Yeah, so they get total likes from 1.3 million likes to 1.33 million likes over the course of. Oh, is that since 2018? Oh, they've only gained 30,000 followers over the course of. Oh, that's to 2019. Oh, never mind. I take it back. Why did it just stop? Weird. Instagram, Twitch was end of June. Okay, yeah. So that was what was it? That. Okay, they don't show it. They don't give you stats on okay, Instagram. Okay. TikTok. Let's take a look. Do we get that stat? Yeah. Monthly gained followers. Detailed statistics. Total followers. August 2023, 7.5 million. Sometime in here, they gained 100,000. So they gained 50,000. But yeah, we're talking to like a brand here. Like they're spending money on the ads. Anyways, it's just the kind of thing that I think is interesting in terms of sharing those compelling stories on social media. I don't think targets new people. Like I'd be very, very interested in learning how many people find Twitch from TikTok, from Twitch's TikTok or Instagram or whatever, and then ends up coming to the platform. And then their service themselves, I don't think it knows who it's for. This is the other thing that I think is interesting. Hi, Bessie. Hi, Spouse. It's the other thing that I'm not entirely sure who it's for. Like, is this for streamers? Is this for the community? Or is it for trying to bring in people from outside? I'm not sure that they have a strategy in that either. And so this is what I kind of mean is that for Twitch, it's a very hard, again, I'm it sounds like I'm shitting on them, but I'm not really. I'm actually saying it's hard as hell to take a platform like Twitch and try to create compelling social content that's actually going to drive new people to the service. I don't think they can effectively do that. I don't think they have the ability to project that kind of intrigue about Twitch. And I think that only creators have that ability to do. So it's tough. It's a tough role, and it's why I kind of question a lot of the things. I'm just like, who's this for? Who is this for? They know what their social accounts are for, making posts that upset creators that Dan Clancy has to step in to fix.
Or
like Twitch support account makes sense. Like here's another one of those kind of me pretending to be the person in charge. If I was in charge, Twitch support is the only account that is tweeting for creators. It is an account for creators exclusively. Twitch support is features, it is platform updates, it is answering questions, and it likely is. It likely is that is the main focus of those platforms. But then from the main Twitch accounts, those accounts are not focused on creators. It's not focused on you or me or ambassadors or DJs. It's not any of that. It's largely designed to project outside, create valuable shareable content that people are going to want to share with their own communities outside of Twitch. And you can potentially look at a lot of those tweets and be like, oh, yeah, that's that. And it goes, yeah, you're right. Some of it is. But then they get into like, now we're going to be tweeting about TwitchCon launches. It's like, no, that's not your mission here. That's not, you're going to like, they'll tweet about patch notes or a show on the Twitch channel. It's like, nope, that's for people who are already here. That goes on Twitch support. That's for people who are already here. They should almost have like they again, if you want to get into the extremes, they should almost take this strategy and just do it for the most popular clip of the hour. Like, this is the top clip of the hour by X streamer. And then have a channel where they just post live stream clips every single hour, one new update. It tags the original viewer in it, or the original creator in it, and gives some kind of context to it, and then pushes it out so that people share it the same way that they share these kind of tweets, right? Like, this is from a live stream, and then people are sharing it of speed, and then it gets shared to 9 million people. Top clip of the hour. Oops, all TOS violations. Absolutely, Mr. Byte. Yes. Yeah. Anything that's not illegal, but is at least interesting enough that is compelling. Like, they should just take live stream fails lunch and make it a marketing avenue. Like, take the top clip here of Quinn69, and they'd have to get permission from the streamers, and so that ends up being the tough part here.
Oh my god, bro. Oh my god, bro. Oh my god, bro. There's a bird inside my fucking fire. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing, bro?
Won't that be a potential PR mess if someone doesn't want to be shared since it's an official account? But that's why I said you'd have to get a permission. You'd have to either get some sort of pre-approval permission or whatever from the streamer. But you would probably have to do that.
Oh, he's not happy. I'm gonna send him out. I don't want to dox myself. Give me a sec.
For TwitchCon Amsterdam?
I don't want to dox myself.
They could just update. I think they do own our content, actually. I think that we already do grant them a license and so on.
I swear to God, I was like, there is a bird.
But yeah, you don't necessarily have it branded as like Twitch, or maybe it is like a Twitch clips kind of thing. Just a clause in the montage. Yeah, exactly, J-Rob, exactly. I'm sure it probably already is there. Anyways, it just feels like if Twitch wants to project. The Twitch main account is for Twitch support is for people who are here. Twitch's main account should be projecting to people who are not here and designed to create content that people want to share. See, the problem is that, like, if I'm a streamer and you post a fancy edited clip. This is the other problem too, is that live content isn't fancy and edited and stuff like that. Like, these kind of just impromptu kind of things are actually more interesting to audiences because it's off the cuff, it's unscripted, there's no fancy overlay and music playing and transition effects. It's just kind of real, which is what Twitch is. Twitch and live streaming is just real. And so to go to Twitch, all of this is fancy produced content, right? Like this. This was a great moment that they've now edited from that just great moment into being something that is now an edited thing that ruins the kind of magic of a live moment. It's not a bad edit. It's not a bad edit. Because it's a basic edit. Yeah, that's actually not a bad edit. It's usually not like that from what I've seen. It's usually very edited things that make it harder to be compelling. Yeah, like this. Again, nothing about...
Cartoony theme park mascot VTuber and a brand new Twitch ambassador.
Yeah. Like, again, all this, it's fine. It's great. It's promoting the ambassador. But this, you need to project outside of Twitch. 86K. What did the original post here do? 458K. Oh, they just retweeted it. What about the recent one? 113K. Anyways, Back into it. Sorry, that's just me going on thinking out loud about how Twitch can market themselves outside of the current kind of locked ecosystem that they're currently in. I do think sharing our clips to grow Twitch is a great idea. Yeah.
People about what they create or what's happened on their channel. So it is. I mean, I struggle to think of when we market Twitch and we aren't.
Is that going to ramble? More likely than you think. Exactly,
the activity
Sunbury.
I'm doing right now, which is maybe PR is. Although I would say that we often work with creators in those opportunities as well, because they tell the story the best about the experience they have, their communities, and what they love about it.
All right.
Yeah. Well, to your point, you do oversee communications as well, and I know last year Twitch got into a little bit of hot water with some of its streamers after changing its policies around branded content.
This is probably why I don't get a media pass, by the way.
During its commission split, the creators kind of felt like they weren't involved in those decisions. How have you responded to that and changed the way you work with creators since then, just given that they are such an important part of the brand?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, the situation you're talking about, we responded very quickly, right? And reversing, and we're, within, I can't remember the timeline exactly.
48 hours, roughly.
But 48 hours, right, have said, hey, we hear you. And we are changing and reverting back to what was previous. We've always maintained, through our sort of partner managers, or even, through my community,
Hi, Ryan,
the community marketing team, really close ties with creators. But certainly we are a lot more intentional about making sure that we are bringing creators in sort of early, often. Obviously we do a lot of UX and UI, we do a lot of testing, we get people hands-on, and then we make sure before, we're going out with something that we're showcasing it, that we're really talking about the features, we're answering a lot of questions, we are absorbing a lot of that feedback. And sometimes, we have the chance to say, hey, I think we need to fix this before, something goes out. And other times we feel validated, right? Yes, great. We're talking about this in the right thing. We built this in the right way. And then other times, we put it on the list of like, hey, this needs to be a fast follow, so that, we're really addressing the sort of top of mind concerns and use cases of creators.
Right.
The other thing is we have a lot of creators who work at Twitch. So people who started out as streamers on Twitch and transitioned into roles, a lot on my team, a lot of sort of like go to market, but really they're across the whole spectrum. So we have a lot of people internally who are very, very hands-on with the product, and also have been in the seat and continue to be in the seat of creation and content creation. So we are pretty constantly, embedding that point of view and that perspective.
Other than with guest star, that one they don't give a shit about.
About like a monolith, the perspectives of creator, because it isn't a monolith.
Then they project what they want the creator to be like. They see exactly Slashy.
And depending on what you create and how, and the size of your community and all that, it can vary. So we're taking those things in on just about everything.
Yeah, it's interesting. You mentioned that a lot of creators join Twitch to work in marketing or other functions. What's that like in terms of like kind of training them to be in a more corporate environment, but then also wanting them to leverage their expertise as creators? Like, how do you, is it a management challenge, and how do you kind of tackle it?
Kind of an interesting question, actually. I'm actually kind of intrigued by this.
It's not really much of a management challenge at all. Like we often say, the thing that they have, I can't teach. Everything else they can learn and have, pretty successfully. And so we've got people, who started in maybe customer service, or maybe they started in, for example, like we just, someone who was previously, leading one of our external guilds has now come internally to sort of manage the whole program. And so what they have is this like,
is that Jubby, I want to say?
Really?
SB? Who is it? SB, right? SB Simone was the one who... Pretty sure it's SB. Yeah, it is SB. Okay. Just wanted to make sure I was right.
really deep knowledge of the community, of the product, of the opportunities, of the issues. And we have plenty of sort of systems and people around them who have the sort of technical sort of expertise. And it's relatively easy to be able to teach, hey, brief writing or making creating a strategy. Like we've got a lot of people who are capable of doing that. And we really love bringing people in who are creators because it's a great balance, right? So they're teaching a lot of the folks on my team in particular, what are the truths? Like, what do the community believe? What do they need?
Oh, true. Okay.
And the folks, who aren't coming from content creation as a background are able to absorb that and then also share their sort of technical expertise. So it works really nicely. It's it's something, we like to really have a balance of those things.
Sure.
And it makes for much better outcomes.
I agree. No, I like the fact. I'm always sad about the fact that there are some people who do, well, again, this is kind of going to go back a little bit further, but like the Bleed Purple sentiment, there's a lot of people who did start out as community or Twitch partners and have become Twitch staff, and they've now been staff longer than they were actual creators, but they had significant success in the time that they were. And as staff, I think especially with a platform like Twitch, having those people that have been on the ground floor, either in terms of being an active consumer of Twitch, in terms of they watch a bunch of different streamers, or in having been a creator themselves, I think that offers a lot of real value to being a potential employee at Twitch. And I think that the people who come in without that kind of background of either content creation, again, there's roles that you can obviously do that in. I think engineering in particular probably doesn't need you to have been a content creator if your task is to create a feature, but you do need the people who are the creators, who are the consumers, to then have an eye on it, to be like, well, maybe we should do it like that, or maybe we should have that in there. It helps, but it's not exactly, Pete, exactly. Versus people like in marketing, where I think that if you work at Twitch, I think you have to have been a creator or an active consumer of the content. Like, I think at Twitch, here's what I'm standing on. I think at Twitch, you should be required. It shouldn't even be a choice. You should be required to post your annual recap. We need to see that people working like Swifty and First Necron are watching some streams. There's still a lot of value regardless of the role if you're a user of the site. Yeah, 100%. I agree. If you're a user of the site, yes, absolutely. I'm completely in agreement with you. I think that there's tons of value in people with wrenches using the actual site compared to people who don't. Even fancy if, again, overlay and music playing and transition effects. God, I think this is going to be great for viewership. I think people are going to be like, this is a badass content. It's getting so close to just being able to make entirely fresh content out of just, it's becoming a what are those called? Soundboards. Hi, Will. Hi, First Necron, by the way. How are you? So yeah, like for me, I've said this many times before, and again, it doesn't have to be this stream. Obviously, this is a very meta stream for Twitch staff to be watching. But I always love when I see a Twitch staffer in like a VTuber's chat, or they're just hanging out in a just chatting stream, or they're watching somebody play Stardew Valley, or they're watching somebody cook. I think that gives me like such positive sentiment towards that overall staffer. Again, not that my sentiment matters, but just in terms of like knowing that, oh yeah, this is somebody who's actually here hanging out, using the product. They're actively engaged in communities. They're hearing what those creators are in particular saying. I think there's a huge amount of value in that. Huge amount. The perfectly timed staffer is all that it needed. Yeah, fair enough. I just wants to see. I do. It's true. That is true, Chef. That is true. Having been a developer across a few industries, knowing the business side adds to your tool belt. My favorite staffer is always lurking in DJ streams. I mod. Heck yeah. Yeah. So again, it just, of course, you're a user. Of course, your sentiment matters. I know. But it's still a kind of thing of like, yeah. What have I done here? Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. There we go.
Yeah. So Community is a big focus for Twitch. You are about to gather your community together for TwitchCon, which is starting next Friday. Talk about what TwitchCon is and like what.
All right, let's see how honest they are here. If they share any data, let's see. Let me get a little. I got some additional insight. I come to this this stream to hear Twitch get glazed. I mean,
the purpose of it is.
God damn it.
Yeah, I think when TwitchCon started, this is like way back in 2015, it was about, hey, how do we bring everything that happens on TwitchCon online and bring it to an IRL space? It still very much holds to that sort of North Star, that philosophy.
You've come to the wrong place. He put a kappa in there for his Necron. He put a kappa in there.
Also evolves with the Twitch community. And so what we're really trying to do and what we want to be true and the experience we want to offer to all attendees is that sense of community. And so we are constantly sort of thinking about experiences, layouts, assets, content that is about sort of driving connection and bringing people together. And so, one of the newer things we've added in the last couple of years is this idea of a friendship room. And it's like friendship bracelets, of course, they're very popular right now, but also just like puzzle making and sort of different trinkets. And what we found is people are coming there. They're coming there to make friends. They're coming there to deepen friendships, and having an activity actually helps to sort of.
Okay, I'm just gonna say, it's probably a good idea. It's probably a good idea. But it feels like daycare. Are we? Is that our generation? Is that Twitch? Maybe it is Twitch streamers. Maybe we just need a daycare and oh fuck, we need a nap room. I'm just thinking about the overall the average Twitch user. It's every generation, maybe. We all have ADHD, so we need activities. It's so funny to just hear. We're thinking of coming up with a friendship room, and we have puzzles and we have toys, and you can meet a friend there. I just like, oh god, it's daycare. Plus one for the nap room. Stop it. You're not helping. You guys aren't helping. Hi, Waffle. I can't. Oh no. Oh man. But maybe it's the case. Oh.
Use those conversations.
Streamer preschool, community preschool, adult preschool,
and help people like talk to one another in a way that doesn't feel like you're standing in a networking event and like, hi, I'm Rachel doing that. It's a big brave step to do that. And so friendship.
Like you do realize you're basically describing perks of going to a large tech company's office. Yeah, but I know, but it's like it's a weird. It's different when you're like it's your job to go there versus like I don't know, just hearing it said out loud. We have a friendship room. I don't know. It's just all right. Again, for me. Welcome to the sponsorship room. Sorry, it's full. Come back next year. True. It's freaky stuff.
Rooms, more interactive content as well. So we're doing like a K-pop dance class. We actually do like yoga for people who sit all day. We do like a Bob Ross painting hour. And so we do a lot of.
God, it's summer camp. It's just, oh my God, it's just kindergarten. It really is just kindergarten. Oh. Oh man. Why can't TwitchCon be what the fuck weekend? It's daycare. Oh, no. Oh my god, I've never even thought about this. But the way that I just again, I don't have any complaints about it, but it's such a weird realization. It feels like my world has just been pulled apart, and all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, we're just
Bits.
Please tell me they have movie nights. I would never admit we have a friendship room ever.
This one time at band camp, boggers.
Yep. Thank you. Desiree, 100 bits. Oh man, we have painting and yoga and a friendship room with friendship bracelets. Oh man. Wow. My reality is just fractured slightly.
Sort of hands-on interactive activities, because we find that those kind of shared experiences really encourage and enable deeper friendships, deeper bonds, and memories, which is ultimately what we're trying to make. And then a lot of the content, all of those things I mentioned, in fact, with the exception maybe of the friendship room, they're led by creators. So, we have 2 big stages of content, the glitch stage and our Rivals Arena. All of those are spearheaded.
Who's the activities directors on this cruise ship? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe this is why I've always struggled. Now, see, I'm kind of realizing something here. And this is why I'm saying that my world's being kind of broken apart. Is that I'm kind of realizing why I personally struggle with Twitch. Not struggle, but I've gone to every other TwitchCon. I've so far since 2019, I skipped the ones in between. 2022, went to Vegas. I'm skipping this year, but I may go next year. Is that for me, it's been a social event, and it's just oh yeah, it's because it's a social event, and it's about making friendships and singing Kumbaya and having a campfire, and for me, I don't necessarily. Again, from my perspective, that doesn't necessarily click with what I'm interested in a convention of professionals. I would prefer the more professional side of things, the actual right. I don't necessarily want to have though. I'm not going because the reality is that a convention. It's also different for me too, in that a convention when you're going is largely dictated based upon your own experience of what you're going to have when you're there. For example, in 2019 when I went, not many people knew who I was. I was pretty on the outside of any awareness there. And so for me, when I went, I didn't know what to expect. And even in that situation where having a friendship room and singing songs would have been something that's okay, yeah, maybe there's something here in terms of connecting with new people. The reality is that I ended up spending time with a few friends, and we did things outside of the convention. We went to the zoo, we went to the aircraft carrier, we went to for dinners and Korean barbecue, and we did things outside and bars at night. It wasn't necessarily that we were there to do anything at the convention itself. Walk around, and that was it. Now it's obviously changed a little bit for me because there's more people who would like to say hello, which is I'm always happy to. But there's not necessarily the side of it that then appeals to the business side of being oh yeah, networking opportunities and even yeah, it still ends up being a thing of at that point. Also, a lot of the interactions are going to inherently be a little bit on the shallower side than they would be for going to the zoo, going to the aircraft carrier, going to a bar to sit down and have dinner or whatever. And so that also kind of shifts the outcomes for me as well in terms of it being okay, there's just, if I'm going for socializing, I'm going for socializing. And that's obviously a different experience for me than it would be for me in 2019. Twitch Friendship Room, brought to you by Shell. Zach doesn't want friends, perfect streamer. Zach, they're professionals, professional figure painters. There's a community part of the convention, then there's the networking and business side of the convention. Yeah, and that's the part, is that the networking and business side of the convention, I don't think exists. I don't believe that there is a business / networking / professional development, even though they do have the sessions and stuff like that. I just don't think that it's there in terms of the actual, at least on site. Again, in Vegas, most of my the connections that I made and the actual positive things that came from it were offsite. They were in private hotel room. That sounds weird. They were in private parties and hotel suites and things that were designed without the chaos of the convention itself. I know that sounded so weird. They were in private hotel rooms. Still says, I know. I didn't do myself any favors. Hi, Chad. The private friendship room. Anyways, it's just, God damn it.
Creators on the service. In the case of
public hotel. No, but you know what I mean? In terms of it being like, if you have like a hotel room is like literally designed with a bed and a bathroom and stuff. But like there's actual rooms that are designed for, oh yeah, you can have a party here, or you can have guests that then come here and there's a table and lounge chairs and stuff like that, and couches and TVs and different space. Like it's not a place to sleep. It is a place in a hotel for small conferences and whatever's. God damn it. I mean, what you got to do for us. This is where the Partridge Partners will be getting. God damn it, Oreos. Don't forget the cuck. There's no cuck chairs. That's not a thing. Suites are meant to host. Yeah, maybe it's a suite. Maybe. Not a swinging party. Living room, kitchen area. Yeah. Like, okay. All right, stop. But the social thing is fun. As hell. Met so many Bussey gang members. God damn it. Just moving on.
They're really sessions that are the vision of the creators themselves. And sometimes it represents content that they make online. And sometimes.
Not true, Zach. Every hotel has a cuck chair. Every hotel room has a cuck chair. No pineapples were involved in meetings. Hey, you guys know about pineapples in Spain, by the way? Do you guys know about the Spanish pineapples in grocery stores? Have you heard about that? Have you guys heard about that? In Spain right now, dating apps on the way out. Nobody cares about them. Everybody hates them. Instead, on Thursday evenings, I think Thursday, between 7 to 8 p.m., you go to the grocery store. And there's a specific grocery store that you go to in Spain. They're all over the country. And you get your basket, your shopping basket, and you pick up a pineapple, and you put your pineapple in your basket, and you look around for other people who have a pineapple in their basket. And then if you're interested in meeting that person, you run your shopping cart into their shopping cart, and then it's like, oh yeah, we're both single and we're meeting at this grocery store. I'm not revealing that I'm wife swapping. It's what's happening. Spanish pineapple dating. Yes, Mercadona got a reputation as an unlikely dating hub with his upside down pineapple as props. This literally came out a day ago. As a scorching summer draws to its close in Spain, love is in the air in unexpected places in air-conditioned supermarket aisles. You thought I was crazy, but I am real. Look at this woman. She's hot and single, and she's ready to mingle in the grocery store. 7 to 8 p.m. Right now. So get your pineapple. A lot of milk, god damn. Yeah. Okay, well, that's the end of that one. Zach really doesn't know, does he? Sounds like a Hallmark movie. Why does that sound like a Star Trek Vacation Planet episode? What if we get to a ham and pineapple pizza? Does that count? I think it counts. Is there more videos? How hungry young Spaniards are finding love. Show me the TikToks. Here we go. Oh, shit. Wait. That's what they're doing. Mercado dating exclusive. You're talking to a Twitch audience. How many people do you think are actively dating in Madrid? It's not just Madrid. It's all over. It's all over Spain. It's a big thing right now. See? This guy? Pineapples are changing the dating game in Spain.
Is changing the dating game in Spain. They're not using Tinder, Bumble, or any dating apps. They are going to a specific supermarket from 7 to 8 p.m. Look at how many people show up to this supermarket. So people that are trying to find love or whatever they want, we don't judge here. They're going to this specific supermarket called Mercadona.
Mercadona.
Is all over Spain, so this
See?
is happening across the country. And they are going from 7 to 8 p.m. So how do you know who's looking for love? Single people that want to find their other half grab a pineapple. They put it upside down in the shopping cart.
Estamos preparadas.
Once you have the pineapple, you head to the wine selection or the wine aisle. Once you get there, if you find someone that you like and they also have the pineapple upside down, you have to crash your shopping cart.
Even the old people are doing it.
Relationship, people buy a pack of lentils because lentils last forever in your pantry. But if you're looking for a one-night stand type of thing, people buy lettuce because it goes bad quickly. So if you're in Spain right now, whether it's traveling for a couple of days, studying abroad, or you simply live there and you want to find love, head to Mercadona from 7 to 8 and see what happens.
There you go. There you go. See? Now you know. See, the things that you learn on this stream is crazy. That's a marketing campaign right there. If you're not dating, do you just have to hide your pineapple? Yes, you should probably pick up pineapples any other day of the week. We're going deep down the conspiracy route here, by the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's all designed as a campaign to sell more pineapples. Big Pineapple in Spain has currently been overtaken by the cartels, and they're operating a underground human trafficking operation designed around a dating app using TikTok to spread the message to ultimately increase the amount of people that they can actually... I've seen the documents, folks. I've seen the documents.
The train jumps the rails so much. It's kind of true. It's pretty cute, though. It is. Send me to Spain so I can investigate. Well, do they put the pineapples back after you boom boom connection has been made? Seems dirty. I don't know. I've heard there's a pineapple method or something or other, but
it's something that they've always wanted to do, right, in front of this live studio audience. And so it's really those two things of featuring creators really heavily, because ultimately that's why people come and stay at Twitch.
That sounds more plausible.
And making sure pretty much all of the spaces and opportunities really help to drive and enable friendship, connections, bonds, and belonging.
Yeah, is that the goal of it? Is it to bring the community together? Because I know there's like a, obviously...
Well, no, no, Allison, don't be silly. The goal isn't actually to bring the community together, though that is a nice benefit. The goal is to make money. This is a fucking for-profit company. They're not just operating a summer camp in order to be like, yeah, we just like people who get together and we like to see people being happy. They don't give a shit about that unless it puts money in the pockets of the company. Like, let's be honest here. That's a bad question. Brand
component too, which I'm sure we'll talk about. But what's like the actual goal of TwitchCon? To get the community together.
Yeah, the actual goal of...
Be honest, Rachel. Be honest. Don't you lie in this interview and be like, no, actually, it's really about community and connection. Don't you fucking lie. There's no reason to lie. Because, yeah, it's a business. We're operating a business event that connects our community with the people who they watch on stream. It gives people a rally point. We can make some money from it. It's a good opportunity for brands to get in front of creators and see the things that they're marketing to.
The community together.
I just get the feeling we're gonna get a lie here. We're gonna get an optimistic, hopeful lie, and it's a lie, and I don't like it. And I can be wrong. I might be wrong. I'm preloading this anger in a thing that I shouldn't be because I might be wrong. But I'm just getting nervous about it.
Because I know there's like obviously a brand component too, which I'm sure we'll talk about.
She's asking the same questions. Is it for the community? Is it for the streamers? Is it for the brands? Yes, probably. Yeah.
What's like the actual goal of TwitchCon to get the community together?
Yeah, the actual goal, of course, is always satisfaction. We want people, of course, like everyone.
Even Allison was like, well, yeah, obviously you don't bring people together for dissatisfaction, for a bad time that people go home with COVID and nothing else. The fuck? Oh man, I'm getting angry. Now I am getting angry. Hi, Taco.
Has a great time.
We want people to hate it.
We want people.
Yeah, exactly. Like she, oh my God. Rewind. Hold on.
Of course, is always satisfaction. We want people, of course, like everyone has a great time.
We want people to hate it.
We want people. Yeah, we obviously are like looking at satisfaction scores and those kinds of things to make sure, people came and they had a super fun time and that they want to come back. But the goal is really to get people together, and to create these lasting memories and facilitate and validate that sense of belonging that people find on Twitch. And that makes
What's wrong with saying we're a business? Why is that? Why can't she? This is a marketing and advertising podcast. This is for marketing people. Why can't you say, yeah, it's a good business for us to be in because it ultimately we have a very passionate and dedicated audience that are willing to pay $400 Canadian for a fucking ticket for 3 days that they spend 10 minutes of their time in the convention. It's like he's become a mad scientist. Hi, John. You don't want to gather around the campfire and sing Kumbaya at TwitchCon. I hope the stream and Zach is yelling. I made it just in time. We need a 2S potential rage emote because making money is always implied. Like saying that on an advertising podcast would be widely obvious and condescending. Would it though? See, this is what I would think is that if you're talking to advertisers and again, you would probably be like, hey, there's some fantastic business opportunities that come from this for our advertisers. Like this is an opportunity to sell next year's the people who are potentially going to have a booth next year to be like, yeah, there's a massive amount of ROI to connect the advertising that you do on Twitch with the people who are actually watching this stuff, who are actually creating the content that you're advertising against. That creates some great opportunity for you as a brand to find potential brand partners to deepen that overall connection to the Twitch community so that when you do show up with your brand at TwitchCon, guess what? You're all ultimately people like, oh yeah, there's Fourth Wall, Zach Bussey's main partner in content creation. Guys, Fourth Wall. If you don't already have Fourth Wall, by the way, go download Fourth Wall, ! Fourth Wall or FW in chat, and help build the business around your brand. Like that's the kind of thing that they should be leaning into. Again, the same opportunity to project the idea of the future of the content on Twitch is not just gaming. Don't then just mention a bunch of games that people play on Twitch and a bunch of content that people create around gaming. Start mentioning the stuff that is non-gaming. Start mentioning the stuff that is specifically like they're making a big push with Cutie's dinner table show. Like push the non-gaming content. So yeah, it's like The View, but for a younger demographic, and it's way more connection, and there's a food element to it, and like talk about the things that are non-gaming. Same way with this, project the reality of TwitchCon, not just being, hey, we get together and make friendship bracelets and hang out in the yoga room. It's no, there's a great opportunity for your brand to actually connect with the people who are watching your ads. Sorry. I didn't mean to get mad at you on that one, Sunbury. Because you're right. But there's also a way to actually fit that in to understand that you're also doing sales here. There is a sales message that can happen here. Hi, Baby Bat. Hi, Hype Train. Is it bad I chuckled over Allison's last name? Weissbrot? What does Weissbrot mean? Is that rice bread? Weissbrot meaning. It is a bread. Oh, it does mean white bread. I thought you guys were joking, but you're right. It does mean white bread. All right. I get what you're saying, but I feel like that's too obvious and they won't say it. But they should, Sunbury. But they should. This is the time to do it. Because when are they ever going to be on a podcast that is not like when is anything that has an audience of marketing people not going to be listening? Like marketing people are not going to be listening to the Happy Time Friendship Hour with Rachel Delphine as guest. Because A, they're not listening to that podcast, and B, Rachel Delphine's not being invited as a guest. I don't even know if that's a podcast or not. I'm just making it up. Rachel's last name is Dolphin in German. Interesting. See, Zach, I told you, white bread. She's like, white bread. Well, fair enough. Anyways, it's just kind of like a thing of if you can't say to a business marketing podcast that part of the goal is the opportunity it creates for brands to understand that, hey, the Twitch community isn't just gaming content. I don't know. It's missed opportunities.
Loyal participants in that community.
As a disc person who desperately wants people to be straightforward and they aren't, I feel you. But the between the lines implication is annoying on Twitch's part. Fair, Sunberry. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. By the way, if you guys are confused about me talking to Sunberry all the time, she's on the YouTube chat. We're on the same page. Hell yeah. So I pay extra attention to the YouTube chat because it's got a fancy little icon that shows a YouTube chat.
So talk about how brands are getting involved. First of all, why would brands sponsor TwitchCon? And then also how are they showing up this year?
Okay.
Yeah, so I think we consider Twitch to be the presenting sponsor or, executive sponsor of TwitchCon. So again, it's sort of we're trying to take a sort of backseat to the creators and community. And then brands.
Okay. Off to a weird start, but okay.
Are absolutely involved. And the reason in particular is this idea of really being able to interact, and particularly with influencers. Most of the people who attend TwitchCon are creators. There are a lot of fans of creators who attend as well, but even the
See, that's not true. We know that's not true because their own documents say 52% are community, 48% are creators. Let me find that. Their own pitch document. So that's a lie. I mean, it's not a lie. It's just it's not that big of a deal, but it's just kind of like, well, it's not what you guys are saying. Yeah, here. I've got it. One second. Yeah, here. Look. Oh, fuck. There we go. An alternate truth. Okay. This is from their own internal documents. Not internal. Not internal. This is external. Sorry, I take it back. External. They sent this to advertisers. 11K attended Paris. 46% are streamers. 54% are community, non-streamers. All right. And then Las Vegas, 25K attended. 47% are streamers. 53% are community. So in none of those situations is streamers the dominant number here. And keep in mind, nothing against... Oh, fuck. How do I close that now? Close. Oh, well. Nothing against affiliates. Nothing against affiliates. But statistically, the vast majority of these streamers are probably going to be 0 to 5 CCV streamers, right? And that's probably not who brands are interested in connecting with. So again, it's kind of why I say there's a weird disconnect with Twitch in terms of, is it for streamers? Is it for networking? And that's why I would like a little bit more of a definition of that to be able to that's again, my wild ideas in terms of how I'm thinking about Twitch are certainly extreme compared to the very white bread takes that they've kind of approached the overall company with. And it's kind of like, yeah, I mean, TwitchCon could be for more creators. Was that my PC? No, it was mine. I got this unlicensed Adobe app has been disabled. Unlicensed apps may contain malware. I downloaded an illegal copy of Adobe Acrobat, and it now has detected that it's an illegal copy of Adobe Acrobat. And so I can't get rid of it. Like, don't say that out loud. I didn't say anything out loud. Oh my God, he admitted it. It is what it is. It is what it is. It happens. Sometimes you need a copy of Adobe Acrobat to sign something because they don't use Dropbox or that other signing thing, Sign My Doc or whatever those other signing things are. They're like, no, you have to sign in Adobe. It's the only one that we use. Fine. I'm not paying for it for one single signature. DocuSign, that's the one. Not even Premiere or anything good? No. I pay for DaVinci. I paid for DaVinci Resolve. All right. Anyways, back into it.
Folks who are fans are often like streamer curious, and a lot of people
Oh
come.
God, what? Is that oh no. Guys, we're going to meet in the streamer curious room just to see.
In particular is this idea of really being able to like interact, and particularly with influencers. You know, most of the people who attend TwitchCon are creators.
Oh, she did say creators. Maybe I can give her a pass, maybe.
There are a lot of fans of creators who attend as well, but even the folks who are fans are often like streamer curious. And a lot of people come there not only to learn, but also are like on various degrees of their streamer journey. So they're, you know, curious to sort of ambitious or just starting out and then growing and then really established and big. And so I think for brands, it's really about, it's an efficient influencer buy. You know, you get attached to, or you get opportunity to showcase your brand, interact with, you know, whatever the case may be, with people who are not only in front of your booth or your space or whatever the case may be, but you're getting all of that. The reach is bigger than the conference. Many people you'll see walking around TwitchCon are streaming the conference. In fact, like a vast majority of them are streaming the conference. So they're going around to
There's no shot that the vast majority are streaming the conference. What is this vast majority thing? Maybe she's just nervous. I don't know. But it's kind of like, what? The vast majority of streamers vast majority are attending are streamers, and the vast majority are creators, and the vast majority are streaming? I don't think either of those are true, but okay.
They're interacting with, you know, the brand activations and sharing it with this online community, in addition to, of course, the impressions they get from folks on the ground. And what we find also is people, I think the stat is like 36% of people consider products recommended by influencers, which is pretty high, right? Influencers on Twitch in particular. And so you get to tap into this very influential audience. And that's because we have these really strong bonds, right? Between the communities, but also the creators in their community.
Yeah, but what does that mean for advertisers at TwitchCon? They're not... God, I'm going to stop. I'm going to lose my mind.
And then in terms of how they're getting involved, there is, of course, an expo floor, right? So there's a lot of, you know, sort of booths, activations of various sizing. You'll see things that are sort of like the peripherals and streaming tools that are very well represented because, as I said, lots of people are streamers there or want to be streaming.
Right.
And then you'll see, you know, the sort of bigger activations. So we have, for example, like AT&T, and they're going to be helping Twitch streamers with, like, they're supporting main stage action and sponsoring like some of the head-to-head rivals matchups and those kinds of things. We've got Capcom. So they are a publisher, of course, from titles like Street Fighter, Monster Hunter. They're going to have a booth so people can experience, you know, games, activities, updates in that space. We have Chevron, who's returning. They're going to facilitate streamer meetups, you know, of course, like swag, games, snacks. Again, it's like, how do we bring people together and sort of like entertain and provide these spaces where folks can relax in some case, you know, play a game in some case, do both in some cases, but really, again, it's about bringing people together. Samsung, who will have an ultimate sort of mobile gaming experience. So again, sort of like activities, challenges for gamers of all levels, from, you know, sort of novice to expert. And then we have Games Done Quick, which is
boy, they're really not selling the idea that Twitch is for anything other than gamers. We've got a mobile game experience. You can play games. We're going to have the Twitch Rivals gaming. We're going to be doing the sit down area. And then we have kind of, come on.
a organization, and they are working with Peloton. So, and their lane break challenge. So we'll have sort of high speed action and watch their favorite speedrunners, which are people who play games like as fast as.
We're never going to beat the allegations that this platform is only for gaming. If every time that we talk about what's going on Twitch, it's just gaming content. It's only gaming content.
In the streamer curious room.
Just to see. I promise to be a good boy. Ooh, ooh. Oh, yes, you're too quick on that. Hi, Elliot. Not sure what they can offer IRL streamers other than community panels and cooking classes. So okay, here's an example. They should be focusing on, hey, we just launched this DJ program, and we're going to have an entire DJ area where these DJs can perform. We're going to be having a well, actually, I should just pull up my map, and so we can take. But there are things that they can focus. They can focus in again on Cutie Cinderella. Saying Cutie Cinderella is doing like a view live. We have the Arabs podcast, which is a podcast that is being recorded live. It's a great audience of people. Like, you can talk up the thing. Again, I understand that obviously she's focusing in on the top brands, because keep in mind, Twitter. She's mentioned, the only brands that she's mentioned are the top line brands, are the presenting sponsors, are the ones that have big money, that have spent a lot of money to obviously be the mainstays here. She mentioned these ones in here. 69, nice, is Corsair. 70 is Capcom, she brought up. 71 is AT&T. Chevron, she brought up. What's 73 is Arena Breakout. 77 is HyperX Omen. 80 is State Farm. 81 is Samsung. So again, there are other things that are happening here. Like the charity side could be something interesting. But like, if again, I'm putting two and two together here to create five is kind of the issue, is that I'm saying two things at the same time that I want to be true, that Twitch is not just for gaming, which is something that Twitch has tried to get away from for a while now. And they're doing things with like the creator clubs. But at the same time, it seems like it remains their bread and butter, that they can't escape from gaming. And so they're saying, yeah, we're not just gaming, but we only work with games. And it's kind of like, well, that's why we have a problem here. That's why we have this issue where everybody thinks that Twitch is for gaming, is because everything that you guys do that gets any kind of attention and mention is gaming related. All I heard was Chevron is gaming with Capcom to play Street Hunter done quick. Yeah, that's accurate. Yep. You have these doors so you can practice. Oh, man. You said it without thinking about it. The time they thank sponsors before they thank... Oh, God, that drove me nuts. It's just... How do they... whatever.
They can. And they'll be competing in the Lane Break Challenge, which is their sort of like gaming content within the Peloton content, and you know, have a chance to win Pelotons, grand prizes, and at the same time, of course, raise fund for charities. We have a TwitchCon arcade where obviously people
can play games.
Playing games. But that's presented by Differin. So we have these like, you know, opportunities that are build your own spaces, bring people into your, you know, a more immersive experience with your brand. And then we have some really great turnkey opportunities for brands who, you know, want to sort of like sponsor and participate, but in ways that, you know, around some fan favorites like the LAN or the TwitchCon arcade. And then lots and lots of, you know, action and brands on the expo floor as well.
Yeah. So a lot of experiential opportunities to partner with creators. So talk about how you kind of, just in general, how you balance advertiser needs with creator needs, right? Because inherently, like
good question.
Advertisers, want to interrupt people.
Yeah.
Or they're trying to learn how to not interrupt people, but that's kind of the old playbook. And people watching a live stream don't really want to be interrupted.
Hey, good question, Allison. Very good question. And if the answer is honest, it's like, yeah, but you know, if they don't want to watch an ad, they can subscribe to the channel.
How do you kind of like, where's the trade-off?
Yeah, I think most of the advertising.
This is a tough question. I'm going to fully admit, I don't know how you, I mean, I know how you diplomatically sidestep this question, but I don't know how you answered this question in a diplomatic way that doesn't piss me off. So I'm going to give them the grace of being like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to be standing, I'm going to stand by on this one. Hi, dear.
Our site directly benefits creators. And so for live
Wait,
streaming.
okay, hold on 1 second. I need to start that again. Sorry.
Watching a live stream don't really want to be interrupted. So how do you kind of like, where's the trade-off?
Yeah, I think most of the advertising on our site directly benefits creators. And so for live streaming,
Okay.
I mean, as you said, like it's live, right? Obviously, I'm making a very obvious statement, but
Sure.
Unlike a sort of like a video on demand, right? The content is continuing.
Right.
And it may not always come at an opportune time. So we've built
Sure.
a lot of controls into the product so that the streamer or their moderator teams can actually control when ad breaks hit.
Right.
So, you know, back in the day, it used to be sort of like it would happen to you. And now we have controls where it says, you know, the streamer can say, I'm about to run my 3-minute ad break or, you know, whatever the case may be. And the reality, you know, it's actually very helpful because they do need to get up. They bio, stretch, snacks, whatever, especially when you're streaming over a long time period, which is true for lots of streamers. Ad breaks can be really strategic to make sure
Go
that
to the bathroom.
Exactly. Like it serves a really practical purpose of letting the person take a break, bathroom break.
Which would be lovely if they offered 55% if you just, for any ad that you run, which is what it should be. If I say, hey guys, I'm going to use the bathroom right now, but I'm going to wait 17 minutes because the next ad doesn't happen for 17 minutes. Or perhaps just being like, no, let me just run the ad whenever I want to run an ad and I get 55% from. It seems like it should just be, hey, all ads should pay the same regardless of whether they're running a schedule or not. I stand on that, and that remains, again, if Twitch wants me to stop talking about ads, just make that one simple change. 55%, all ads. And then you've won me over. I have no more complaints against ads. I can still have an opinion on pre-rolls versus mid-rolls, but at that point, it's like, okay, I think you have a lot of options that you, as the streamer, can now decide. Do you want to run pre-rolls? Great. Do you want to, if you have a legitimate break that you need to take 2 hours into your stream and you run 3 minutes of ads to disable ads for an hour, you should get 55%. Like, it just seems like it is a very reasonable thing to do, to just give 55% rather than having to put it on a schedule. Scheduler works for some people, but it doesn't work for everybody.
Mental break. I got to go retrieve a package. I need to have my lunch, whatever the case may be.
Agreed.
And we're also really, really clear, like even within the product, within the UI, that like this ad benefits streamers. So like stick around to watch the content to support your favorite streamer. So one is like making sure we're really clear with viewers that there's a benefit to this, to them watching the ad, and that it's a way for them to support their streamer, but also giving streamers a lot of control so that they are choosing when this happens, what works best for their content and their community. So it isn't that like sort of abrupt disruption that is, you know, not great for the streamer, not great for the community, not great for the brand. So those are two of the things. And I think otherwise, being really open with the community about like, you know, the choices they make about their content and the potential like impact on advertisers and their targeting and those kinds of things is really important. So just generally being pretty open and transparent about, hey, we're, you know, for example, we've put content classification labels in place so that people who are creating content that might not be for all audiences, you know,
Ad schedules work for a Red Panda stream. They're making good money. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Again, that makes sense. But like, we've had the joke many times where people run my fake ads in the middle of a sentence that I've made, and you guys miss theoretically what I'm saying in the next period of time. And it's like a schedule can work, but the content, it's like, it shouldn't be the only way in which it's operated. And I understand there's a snooze button, and I understand there's a thing that says it's coming up in 5 minutes. I get that. When I first became a Twitch affiliate, they didn't even have the affiliate program. This platform is already kind of at its peak. I don't think there's anything that they can do to make this platform any better. Ads are great, and if you think that you have a better implementation than ads that are currently existing, you know, I think you should be working for Tesla because you're on Mars or something. The ads are perfect. When I get the opportunity to vote, I'll be voting no on making any changes to make this platform better.
You vote no for the union?
I will vote no.
It's not needed. Vote no.
Have you ever thought about how, to a former interim CEO of OpenAI, that the world is basically Candyland? Like, you're dooming over the future of AI and boom, there's just a CEO job for you. And then days later, it's gone. Then you just have to go back to being a dad. Former interim CEOs of OpenAI aren't that excited about it. Subscribe with Prime.
And so theoretically, that's how you would make 50,000.
Oh my god, what the hell? What's going on?
Wait, oh my gosh.
Code, are you serious right now? You're invited to the Twitch Partner Program.
I just got partnered.
We got partner, boys.
What? Coke Gaming?
Did your account get suspended fairly, but you want it overturned?
I'll fix it.
Are you unhappy with the rules and want them adjusted specifically for you?
I'll fix it.
Are you an employee in the middle of answering a question about...
I'll fix it. Hi, I'm CEO John Delancey, and I fix things. No job too small, no task too basic. No one knows better than me, not even my employees. So if you have something you want to fix, I'll fix it. Call 857-758-5055 and I'll fix it.
Here I am, a pillar of the community, and I love Frosted Bussies.
Brave adults know that Frosted Bussies are the best breakfast cereal.
I try not to, but I can't stop thinking about Frosted Bussies.
Those sweet, crispy Bussies with a splash of cold milk. What could an adult like better? I'm not ashamed to admit I have Frosted Bussies for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's no conspiracy.
Get your Frosted Bussies, they're okay.
Which is reasonably how Dan Clancy could probably solve the Mideast peace problem and actually create a lasting peace. But he doesn't. He chooses to go in a van instead.
Hello, streamers. This is Tom Clancy, the CEO of Twitch. I interrupt the content you were watching today to bring you some exciting news. Today, I'm introducing a brand new feature coming to Twitch called Tom Clancy's Guest Star. You and a squad of 5 other streamers will jump into an intense, action-oriented vocal arena where only one will escape without being banned from Twitch. Now, I need you to do 2 things. First, squad up and jump in to Tom Clancy's Guest Star. Second, go subscribe on tos.gg for just $5 a month. Thanks, and good luck, streamers.
Which is why I think Singletary is actually a double agent working for Clancy. But that all depends on the first part, so we'll see.
20-minute videos taking 7 hours to complete.
Hi, Alan. Alan, thanks so much for your Prime sub. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. How long is that? It says, oh, 8. Okay, I was going to say, it said something weird on my screen, but I just realized it because it was cut in half. Alan, thank you so much for the Prime sub. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Double Agent? Yeah, Patrick is too well-meaning to be a spy. It's true. It's like, are you saying that Singletary is Hans, Dan's handler? Yep, that's what I'm saying, I think. Anyways, let's get back into this. Friendship rooms for the Middle East. Yes, exactly.
Brands, right, who should have the choice about where their content appears, can make informed decisions. And saying, hey, this may have an impact on your advertising revenue as a result.
I was confused because I came here and was hit with real ads, then fake ads, so I needed to do something about that. Well, that sounds about right. Yeah, it sounds about right. It's an interesting transition.
Right, if you're making content within some of these categories. But at the same time, creating that system, right, content classification labels, actually opens us up to even more brands, right, who do require that fidelity of control, which again is like sort of a spend sort of is a tide that rises all boats. So in creating things that work great for advertisers, we're increasing overall sort of like interest in the service, which it has direct benefit.
Service.
To the vast
She said
majority of
service.
streamers on the service.
She said service.
Do you find that
Guys, we're back to service. We're back to service. Uh-oh.
advertisers, like I know we were talking a bit about misconceptions before. Do you think they are a little hesitant about Twitch, or does it depend what?
Yes, I'll tell you right now. I will tell you right now. Yes, advertisers are a little hesitant about Twitch. And I'll tell you one of the big reasons why. December of 2023. I don't know if you guys recall, but let's all gather around the TwitchCon campfire, and I'll tell you a scary story. There was a decision made by the big man upstairs, and he was like, oh, I'm going to have, I don't know what this voice is. I'm going to have any kind of artistic nudity to be allowed on this platform. Ho, ho, ho. And then the people were like, well, I don't know if that's such a great idea. And they said, I don't know if that's such a great idea. And then the people in the other town said, I don't know if that's such a great idea. And the people that said in this town, I don't know if that's such a great idea. But he said, no, I know better than everybody. We're going to do it and it'll be just fine. And so they make this crazy change to allow artistic nudity on Christmas Eve of 2023. Not actually Christmas Eve, but it's going with the story. And there it was on Christmas Day, to the children waking up, all to say, oh my gosh, look at the presents. Look at the presents, the penises, the boobs, the tits, the asses too. And everyone was shocked and everybody was fearful at looking at all of these titties on frogs and deerful. And advertisers went, oh God, what the fuck? What have you done, Santa? You've ruined us amok. And in the end, the advertisers fled and they said, nuh-uh, we're not touching that again. That's too much for us. And everybody went quietly home to quickly undo the damage that they tried to do. But advertisers are still kind of like, I don't necessarily know if we feel it's such a good brand fit anymore. Kind of easy to rhyme with that one, but also very, very hard when you don't have a thing planned in mind to make that work. You are getting loopy. It's true, Dragon Gem. It's true. Anyways, yes. So the TLDR is that advertisers are a little bit nervous about Twitch
Category, just because of the live streaming nature. Like,
I had a concept of a plan, and I executed that plan in a concept that showed that there may have been a plan.
Running into that, or do they kind of understand that this is like where entertainment is going?
I think it's more the latter, to be honest. There was a lot of more explaining when I started, 6 years ago of, yes, we have lots of gaming. Here's who games. And also gaming is this sort of universal.
Holy fuck. Gaming. Again, nothing against gaming. But if they're ever wanting to get out of the gaming category, it's got to be like, man.
Activity enjoyed by like a great many people across the world of all different like walks. And we've done a lot in the last couple of years, specifically to address, it is live, right? So there is some serendipity, and serendipity is often awesome because you're like, oh my gosh.
Is it serendipity? I don't know if that's the right word. Serendipity. I don't know that it would be serendipity, because serendipity tends to imply the positive side of things. Whereas when you're talking about advertisers, I don't think their concern is that things are going to be too positive and optimistic and happy and good outcomes are going to happen. I think they're generally pretty concerned about potential brand risks. So I don't think that advertisers are like, oh yeah, there's too much serendipity on Twitch. We're a little bit concerned about that. I don't think it's the right word choice. But again, I don't blame her for the word choice. It's just kind of like one of those things that as you're having a conversation, you just say a word.
We had this phrase that was like,
what is serendipitous this stream? Well, thank you.
Here, because of the ephemeral nature, there's something really valuable about being around when like something sort of unexpected or big or momentous happens. But at the same time, like that can also mean something momentous or unexpected happens that you don't necessarily want to be a part of. And so content classification labels.
Can I say that I think that's the wrong way? Again, I'm just speaking from myself here. I obviously don't know how Twitch wants to position themselves, but I think that's the wrong way to try to position the overall brand opportunity in terms of advertising on Twitch. I think one of the things that you can say about Twitch that I don't think is said often enough is, again, leaning into the strengths of a community, in that you have a deeply engaged group of people who are watching a streamer do content, and then a break occurs and then an ad runs, and that's an incredibly receptive audience. Like if you're watching YouTube, it just kind of autoplays. You don't necessarily know what's coming, and you may not even be actively watching. Same with TV, same with radio. And again, this is to kind of cherry pick and not necessarily point out the fact that there's also lurking on Twitch. But I think you can probably position it as, yeah, it's a deeply engaged. One of the things that is amazing about Twitch is that, hey, active, engaged communities who are very, very interested and open to, branded messages from streamers in their communities. Like those people, I can't believe I'm forgetting the word that I use. Oh yes, rather than the attention economy, the intention economy. And I think that they should steal that from me. And again, I'm not the first person to say it, but I think they should steal that line and be like, yeah, Twitch is all about the intention economy. In that if you're watching a streamer and then you run an ad, you're going to have a very, very high likelihood that there's some real engaged eyes and attention being placed upon a video ad in front of them in that moment as they wait for their streamer to return from a break. Like they're there, they're waiting, they're hanging out. That's the value for advertisers. Unlike other platforms where you don't have that kind of constant engagement of a real person and real interaction that offers significant value to the people who are typing in chat, who are watching the content. So that when they get hit with an ad, they're active. You know they're engaged. You know that they're paying attention. It's a bit of it being in the stream at the right time for the viewer, but for an advertiser, the occurrence and development of events by chance in a happy or beneficial way. Google, yeah, and that's what serendipitous means. Yep. Hi, Daddy. How are you? Zach, you look sharp. Why so fancy? Why are you so fancy? My mother was half Swarovski diamonds. I don't know where I was going with it. I just tried to yes and it didn't work out. I do the same, but you can see people just those active in chats there for 4 or 5, 6 hours. Yeah. I've seen chat clamoring for a streamer's affiliate codes to support them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Not the ads. You're right, Paul. Again, I'm speaking from the position of marketing. I'm basically trying to bullshit the marketers by saying, hey, this is the great value of being involved in Twitch. Again, it's not necessarily how it plays out. I don't necessarily think that you guys are super excited for whatever brand is advertising on this stream when you get a pre-roll. But that's not what I tell advertisers. That's the advertising game that I would play, is to be like, yeah, these are engaged super fans of content who are actively watching, and then an ad appears. Hi, Nicola. Psyche eats cold and poops out Tiffany cufflinks. Exactly.
Here, because of the ephemeral nature, there's something really valuable about being around when like something sort of unexpected or big or
She sounds like she's trying to convince someone to stream on Twitch instead of advertising on Twitch. Yeah, and this is what I'm saying, is that I just feel like there's opportunities missed in terms of positioning TwitchCon for sales, positioning advertisers to advertise in the future here. Like this, that's who the audience is for this. It's not for me. I mean, technically it's for me, but it's not for like you guys listening. Like the fact that however many of you guys are watching this along and chatting and we're having a fun time with it is remarkable, because it's not meant for us.
Momentous happens, but at the same time, like that can also mean something momentous or unexpected happens that you don't necessarily want to be a part of. And so content classification labels have been really, really important. And I think, we have a really high percentage of usage and accuracy. So people are really adopting them. I think for the most part, like streamers want to operate in good faith. They've invested a lot in their communities. They don't want to risk their channels.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be here, Illusion.
By the rules.
Get the hell out of here, Illusion. Who said you're allowed to be here?
And so we see really good adoption of those things, and it allows brands a lot more fidelity in where their content appears, and then more confidence, right? And just, I think, generally buying into Twitch and the opportunity. So it's certainly changed meaningfully.
Yeah. See, this explanation offered no confidence in Twitch ads, right? Like it basically was hey, we have these safety tools so that brands can feel safe and secure that their ads are not going to be against content that they don't want it against. Rather than it being positioned as from a confidence point of view of, yeah, we have safety tools, but ultimately the value in advertising on Twitch is why people are coming and why people are taking advantage of this. And so we have lots of advertisers, like, play up the fact that like have that kind of swagger, because what are advertisers going to check? They're going to check your fill rates? I don't think so. They're not going to check every single brand who's advertising. They're going to go, like the same thing that we do, right? I can't tell what the fill rate is on if I ran an ad right now. I have no idea. Advertisers aren't going to have that access to that either. So yeah, you can take this as an opportunity to just be like, yeah, rather than being on the negative side of, well, we have the protections, and because again, they're still dealing with the ramifications of the artistic nudity. They're still dealing with the ramifications of some of the historic content and the general sentiment towards gaming content. Gaming content has always been a bit more on the edgier side, let's say, as the nicest way to position it. On YouTube, YouTube opt in to advertise on gaming content. They got rid of this at a certain point. But there was a time where you had to voluntarily opt in to gaming content on YouTube if you wanted to use AdSense on YouTube. Is that like for most brands will just like, no, not interested in that. It's too potentially risky, brand unsafe. I think that may have changed now. But that's why like CPM rates on gaming was like $1. It was like bottom of the barrel because it was literally the only the riskier brands willing to take a gamble or having smaller budgets and wanted outsized impact would end up spending on gaming ads or putting their ads on gaming content. And I wonder if that is still impacting Twitch in terms of Twitch's reputation as being a gaming platform. So yeah, it's just the kind of thing of I would avoid personally. Again, I'm not doing ad sales. I've never done ad sales, but I just, from speaking to brands, the brands that I speak to, the advertising agents and PR people, they feel a lack of confidence in being able to advertise on Twitch is perhaps the nicest way to position it. So I think that they should try to have a little bit more swagger in being like, yeah, we have the safety tools, but it's not, you don't have to necessarily worry about the content because we're not just a gaming platform. We have lots of different content, and we have tons of advertisers that are taking advantage of, again, the major strength, engagement. People are engaged. Do you know the percentage of Twitch behind the scenes staff that streams on Twitch? I don't know that. No, I don't. There's a few hundred, not a few hundred. There's probably 100 though. They do have a Twitch staff team, Tram. Well, it's still panned out. This hasn't been updated in a long ass time. So there's a lot of people on here that do not actually stream anymore, or perhaps worse, don't work for the company. But yeah, there's 149 on this list, but there definitely are some people here who do not work for the company anymore. Oh, maybe they cleaned some of them out. Wait a second. I mean, there's still lots on here, but yeah, Medicine Man. DJ Week gone, or did I just not see him? Oh, they did pull him out. Interesting. Or maybe he exited himself. I don't want to hear streamers have control over ads. I want to hear my ads will sell my product and how well it does. If they control, that's less money. Yes. If they have control, that's less money I make. Yeah. Again, who are you speaking to here? It's advertisers. You're not, again, allow me to be mad on stream if I'm just like, yeah, you're ignoring the actual creator in this. Allow that to happen because I'm not the audience for it. Let me get mad here while you talk to advertisers there is how this should be going.
A lot of that has to do with the controls and features we've put in place to address those concerns.
Yeah. Now that creator marketing is so big, how are you kind of like differentiating from all the different platforms out there, whether it's TikTok or what have you, where you can engage with creators now? Like, what's the like Twitch reason to go to Twitch for that?
Good.
I think it's the depth, right? So, you know, we have breadth because of the opportunity across Amazon. So, for example, like you can do, you know, buy into the video bundle, which includes Twitch, but also like Prime Video and a lot of the other sort of like video products across the Amazon family. But when you're talking about Twitch, it's really about depth. And, you know, the 36% of people who are considering products, like that's meaningfully higher than you'll see on other platforms who also offer sort of like influencer creator marketing. And then it's time spent, right? So it's not when creators do, particularly when they're doing like a partnership with a brand. So a good example is Maybelline, and they wanted to promote their Colossal Curl Bounce mascara. So we did a 2-hour stream, right? So it's not a 30-second, it's not a 60-second. It's a 2-hour live stream, and the streamer, Fast Fee, is actually like using it, responding to it.
What was her name?
Viewers were able to
Fast Fee
mascara. So we did a 2-hour stream, right? So it's not a 30-second, it's not a 60-second. It's a 2-hour live stream, and the streamer, Fast Fee.
Fast Fee? Fast Fee? Fee? Fast Feet. Oh, God. Oh, Fast Fee. Oh. Is it 2 S's? I know who you're talking about now. There it is. Summary. 30 days. Was she not front paged anywhere for it? That one, maybe? Maybe this one? Phasmophobia?
Is actually like using it, responding to it, and viewers were able to sort of engage, ask questions.
I saw the list that has been updated. Maybe staff would get more into more of a ground roots view of streaming of all staff or streamers and more benefit of the platform, being a successful streamer just streaming. Spirit, we actually talked about that a little bit earlier in terms of the the staff that actually spend their time on Twitch watching streams gives me a lot of comfort and confidence in and overall my sentiment towards them goes up. Because using the product itself obviously makes a pretty significant difference compared to somebody who doesn't. Not that every single person needs to, but I think that it does help a lot. So I'm with you on that one in agreeing that having active users of the platform will be to the benefit of the actual product itself.
Get closer, like blink for me. There's this like sort of live interaction and authenticity that people know exists on Twitch, where it's not an edited video. There's not a lot of artifice. And instead, it's this really sort of, shopping with a friend and like trying things out, trying things on. And the result was, across all of the users, 85,000 minutes watched of content of like 2 hours, of Maybelline.
85,000 divided by 120. Okay. It's not bad. 708 average viewers. So I guess it is probably either this one or this one. This one probably. July 25th. Go look at it real quick. 5 hours. Oh, it's gotta be, right? It's gotta be. Let's go then look at Twitch Tracker instead. They have old titles. View. Streams. And the 25th. Trying out Marvel Rivals. Nope, wasn't. Search for Maybelline. Nope. No Maybelline mentions. All right, well, we tried. Actually, I'm not going to give up that easy. Fast fee Maybelline. Please don't tell me it was a year ago. Please don't tell me it's a year ago. Oh no, it was 2 years ago. That one 3 months ago. 2022. Oh no. Hi, Ruthful. Hi, Lumpy.
Like using it, responding to it. Right? So it's not a 30-second. A partner's meaningfully higher than you'll see on other platforms who also offer sort of like influencer creator marketing. And then it's time spent, right? So it's not when creators do, particularly when they're doing like a partnership with a brand. So a good example.
By the way, this is a fantastic thing to do that brands should do more of. And I wish that, I think that Twitch is having difficulties in trying to scale up their offering of the same way that they struggle with Bounty Board. Their sponsorship product is also seemingly struggling to be able to scale.
Example is Maybelline, and they wanted to promote their colossal curl bounce mascara. So we did a 2-hour stream, right? So it's not a 30-second, it's not a 60-second. It's a 2-hour live stream, and the streamer Fast Fee is actually like using it, responding to it, and viewers were able to sort of engage, ask questions, get closer, like blink for me. There's this like sort of live interaction and authenticity that people know exists on Twitch, where it's not, it's not an edited video. There's not a lot of artifice. And instead, it's this really sort of, shopping with a friend and like trying things out.
Sparty's great. Sparty's
The
great.
result was, across all of the users, 85,000 minutes watched of content of like 2 hours, of Maybelline products, and particularly the mascara. And the video completion rates are like, 86% and 100% of products sold out on the stream. And so I think having people engage really meaningfully and over a longer time period, and being able to sort of direct and question and interact with the streamer, and by extension, the product, the service, whatever, leads to really great outcomes. I think there is like making an impression, and then there's
5 minutes left, guys. 5 minutes left.
And that's where I think we play really, really well and uniquely.
Okay.
You mentioned Amazon, which obviously owns Twitch. How closely do your like ad platforms kind of work together? Like you mentioned.
Oh, well, Twitch doesn't really have any kind of ad people. It's all handled by Twitch now. So yes, the answer is yes.
In a video package, how often are you kind of working with their teams to create more of a holistic offer for advertisers? Is it more
Transgender operations on illegal aliens that are in prison? Is that because is that Trump's thing? Jesus Christ. That is hilarious. All right. Good shirt.
like that, or is it more just
Pika did an Instagram reel about a new Intel gaming laptop for her DJ stream and doesn't talk about it on Twitch. Yeah, that sounds about right. Again, I've said this many times. The best thing that you can do as a content creator on Twitch is to develop an audience on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube, because brands don't understand or get this space. They want big number better. They want to see a number of likes and a number of comments. They don't inherently care about the directly engaged. Even if you could have, with a fraction of the total viewership, you could get 1 million views on a TikTok and 100 viewers on a Twitch stream, and you would do better in terms of direct conversion. They still prefer the bigger number better.
On Twitch buys, or it depends.
I think all of those things happen, right? Like the sort of across the spectrum of Amazon products, and then also Twitch only, and of course like Amazon only. But more and more, we're working very closely together. I think that's
yeah. You mean you're working under is because the entire team now works at Twitch or at Amazon. Twitmercan? What is Twitmercan?
Sales tax would actually result for
I don't even know if you can show that on stream.
middle-class families in about 4,000.
Jesus Christ. Well, found the man in the boat.
To the benefit, right, of advertisers in particular. We offer a unique audience within the sort of Amazon, dream code of opportunities, and also benefit, right, from some of the.
By the way, the description of this is she shares her predictions on where the live stream space is headed. There's 3 minutes left.
Asked me.
Oh no.
If Zach Bussey, the Twitch streamer, got a margarine sponsorship offered, should he accept it? What is your opinion? Listen to me, Pylor Zayan. If Zach Bussey gets a margarine sponsorship, they'd better embrace it with the intensity of 1,000 fire-breathing dragons.
Exactly.
Margarine is the smooth criminal of the butter world, spreading like a wild conspiracy. Imagine the glorious chaos, the buttery madness, the unbridled frenzy of an audience lured in by the golden allure of margarine. Accept it and let the stream become a tempest of creamy chaos.
That's what we call the stream anyways. Most people watching, you're a tempest of creamy chaos. That's what I call you all. I say that to people all the time. Yeah, my community is kind of like a tempest of creamy chaos.
Opportunities they both offer and relationships they have. So it's a really fruitful, I would say, productive partnership.
Sure.
in which everyone's kind of bringing their own unique aspects, and then the holistic picture is really compelling.
You've been at Twitch now. Things have changed over time. What can we expect for the next 6 years of the brand?
Oh my gosh. Well,
that might be too far away.
We're live, Allison. I never know what to expect on any given day. But I think, if I wave my magic wand, in terms of the brand, leaning more into community, I suspect we'll see a lot more emerging content types, particularly as like mobile streaming has become more available, more possible. For a long time. Like almost all of the streamers on Twitch had to have a really powerful sort of like PC machine, because you're not just making recorded content, you're like delivering high fidelity content with very low latency across the world. And so you needed really powerful sort of machinery and infrastructure to be able to do that. And now mobile creation is growing popularity. We see more people actually, I think most of our viewership is now happening on mobile as well. And so, people actually leaving the space, the sort of, their home or whatever their studio situation is, and being able to go out. And so we see a lot of IRL streaming. We see a lot of sort of travel and people being able to do things who may not have had the interest, right, in like the technical setup at one time, are really willing to give it a try when there's like a lower barrier for technology. Entrance into the streaming space. And I think we'll see just a lot of more different kinds of content. We're like,
I'm losing my mind. Oh man, I can't remind me in the future, only one executive podcast per week. Because I can't. How we're going to see a lot of different content. What? How is that a prediction? It's not.
The super majority of content when I started was certainly gaming. It's true that the majority of content is still gaming, but our largest category is also just chatting now. And we see a lot of interest in content like chess. We just launched a DJ program about a month ago.
Finally.
Early August, which is the first, really only place that DJs can like safely create online and stream this content. So that is, I suspect, will be a really big and growing category. Music is another one of those like sort of universal, right? Interests that really bring people together. So I think we'll see a lot of content and different kinds of creation. And then I think there's interesting things like, AI and generative AI and how creators can use that. I think there's a lot of talk about, actually as the creator or using it, right, as a sort of proxy. But I think there's also like, how do you reduce a lot of the like production and
holy shit, it's the same talking points that Jez said in his stream with AI. Why even bring it up? Hi Zeodick. Hi Snapping Neurons. Oh my god.
Content creator, you probably know this too. Like, you're the producer, you're the tech, you're the editorial, you're doing the marketing, you're doing the social. And I think what they really want to do and what they're really, really great at is creating great content, entertaining audiences, bringing people together. And so I think there's huge opportunity too for like the tooling and a lot of the sort of tedium and all this like required work just to go live, reducing the burden on that so they can ultimately spend time doing the part of it that they like, which is, actually being live and hanging with their audience.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Rachel, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. And good luck at TwitchCon.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We're really looking forward to it. And I so appreciate you having me on.
Man, a throwaway section at the end is the only time talking about non-gaming content, really.
That's all the time we have for.
Oh boy, because you're one of the very few people that consumes any media that involves a Twitch staffer talking about Twitch or ex-staffer. Good luck, have ads. Yeah, I guess you're right. But yeah, it's the kind of thing of like, I don't. There's missed opportunities in all these things and strange comms in terms of like, why are they so focused on generative AI? Like, why do they have to bring it up? I understand that people bring it up because, it's any tech company has to bring it up. You guys mention it every single time, but I don't think that they do. I don't think that they have to mention that up. Oh, when Zach Bussey when Zach Bussey in the podcast circuit talking about Twitch, making the podcast circuit talking about Twitch. Oh, I don't think there's a lot of podcasts that are interested in talking about Twitch. That's a problem. It's amazing sometimes how the people running the thing know so little about the thing compared to the people who use the thing. Yeah, I mean, it is kind of like it's just a matter. I guess the difference here's the difference. Here's the difference. Me. And this is why it's kind of unfair. It is kind of unfair. Me being actively interested in Twitch and engaged in the platform and engaged with creators, but also engaged in the business side of Twitch and talking to staff and seeing what Twitch executives are doing, I kind of really do have a well-rounded overall view of Twitch. But the reason I do it is because I love the platform. I'm passionate about the platform, and it makes me crazy that the platform sometimes doesn't recognize its own strengths, or decisions are made that are bad for creators, or creators are getting the short end of the stick, because I do have that kind of overall view of the platform, and because I'm doing it out of passion, right? I'm doing it out of passion. Whereas if you are the CMO or the chief tech or CEO, whatever you are, it doesn't matter what you are, is that you're a tempest of creamy chaos. Holy fuck, you guys are fast. Is that the difference there is that ultimately for them, even if they care about the platform, it's a job. They are still being paid to do a job, and a job, sometimes you hate your fucking job and you're going through the motions of doing it. And so there is a vastly different overall experience that you have in doing something for passion because you like the platform, you like the creators, you like what's going on, versus somebody who's doing it for a job. And so it's kind of an unfair thing for me to criticize, because if I was working at Twitter or I was working at Facebook, I probably wouldn't be as passionate about the platform as I am about Twitch. And so that's why sometimes things get under my skin to an extreme degree, because when you care about something and you're passionate about it, when the platform can make bad decisions and you recognize it and you see it and you don't understand how they don't see it, like that stuff can get under your skin. And especially when people are like shitty towards you. And again, I'm shitty towards people too, but people can be shitty towards you or deny you a media pass. Like those kind of things are just kind of like, do you guys not understand that I care so fucking much about this goddamn platform? Again, I understand I'm going to get denied, but you're denying me for a reason that I don't think that the reason why you're doing it isn't actually because, we don't want to give a media pass. I think it's more, anyways, doesn't matter. Sometimes like you, sounds like you sometimes hate your job. Sometimes, yeah, you're kind of right. I take my statement back. We learned about friendship rooms and pineapples. Hi, Ollie. Working in industry is a great way to obliterate your passion for said passion or for said industry. Yeah, but I it's true. But at the same time, it's also been kind of, I mean, I've gone through ups and downs and periods of, I don't know. Anyways, I still like Twitch. Still like Twitch a lot. Still like the creators. Still like the community. Still like the content. And still enjoy listening to marketing blather for half an hour on a podcast and getting mad about the overall comms about, hey, you're missing the fucking things that are great about this platform. What the fuck are you saying? But that's, if I ever lose that spark, it's over, folks. It is over. Guys, it's 6:50. I've been live for 3 hours and 20 minutes. So we're going to wrap things up for today. We are going to wrap it up. Oh, picked a terrible time to resub, Ollie.
And I still like your content.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much for the resub. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much, Ollie. YouTube people. Hello, YouTube people. Hey, 6 people watching today. Nice. Click like. Do I have likes? I've got 7 likes. Everybody go like. Go like that video right now. Go like it. Everybody like. I want to see, not those likes, not these little ones in the corner you can't see. An actual like on the video. How far is it behind? Oh, yeah, it's already back there. 8. It needs to get to 12. Can we get 12? That's my favorite number. No, I forgot. It's September 11th. Oh, well, we got 13. Never mind. We passed it. We surpassed it. We're great. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much for the likes. I do appreciate it. See, look, Twitch. There's your selling feature. There's how you sell ads right there. Man puts a link in chat and instantly gets a bunch of goddamn likes. For no real reason. Hell yeah. I am one of 6. Vertical streaming on Twitch for sure. Liked. I already liked it. Can't like it again. Keep at it, Zach. Thanks, Dice. But yeah, YouTube chat. YouTube, thank you very much. I do very much appreciate it. Thank you. Next goal, front page. But yeah, thank you guys for everybody who's typing in the YouTube chat. I do appreciate it. Some very silky laner. Thank you very much for watching the content there. I do appreciate it a lot. And yeah, I'm going to say goodbye now and end the YouTube stream. And then we're going to raid on Twitch. Only because YouTube's redirect is still pretty struggly. Hey, it got up to 17. Nice. So goodbye, YouTube. I'll see you in the next one.